big weekend and big moments from the first rounds in Las Vegas set the tone for the season. It was an all-out battle for the checkers on a brutal track where drivers put it all on the line. Statements were made and lessons learned, but there's no rest for the weary. TORC is back with more intense action from North Carolina at the famed dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway, the site of some epic battles over the years, creating intense rivalries and unforgettable crashes. When night falls and the temperatures cool, the racing heats up. It's time for the Husqvarna Showdown in Charlotte. Welcome to the nation's premier off-road racing series, TORC, the Off-Road Championship presented by AMSOIL.
Welcome everybody here to Charlotte, North Carolina. What a fantastic weekend of racing we've had so far. We've got more coming tonight. My name is Scott Rain along with Robbie Floyd, and Kelly Snyder will be trackside all night long. Welcome everyone to rounds 3 and 4 of the Husqvarna Showdown here at the dirt track in Charlotte. It is round 3 and 4 of the 2014 season, and Robbie, if anything happens tonight like it did last night, we are in for a whale of a night.
Yeah, I mean, we had a banging, parts flying everywhere from maybe pro lights, pro two-wheel drive, pro four-wheel drive. All the qualification is in the books. They raced yesterday, full program today, a full program as well. What you are here to see, that you're now in the pits, and welcome everybody watching from around the world and here looking at the video board live in Charlotte, North Carolina. What you are going to witness today is the round 4 of TORC, the Off-Road Championship presented by AMSOIL. I don't care what class it was yesterday. They were going at it. The track changed throughout the night, but it did not discourage them from banging fenders. And we expect to see even more fenders lost tonight.
Well, the interesting part is there's been a little bit of a reschedule for our 2014 season. And with that being said, that means now we have a break of almost a month before our next round of racing, which will be in Bark River, Michigan. So tonight, having a chance to talk to some of the drivers this afternoon, a couple of guys, and one in particular said, you know what, I felt like I was driving a little bit too nice last night. And 4 different drivers came up to me this afternoon and said pretty much the same thing. The gloves aren't even being put on because they would have to then take them off, because we're talking about it is going to be a lot of aggressive driving tonight.
I come from a supercross, motocross world, and I see the last chance qualifier generally. It's the last chance.
Well, guys, the guys have been talking in the pits right before this race about how they experienced the track yesterday, and they really said that this track has no real rhythm to it at all. You're just full force, foot on that gas pedal, gassing it through this entire track. The most unpredictable thing that they face are all the ruts that have been forming on the track, especially on those infield turns. There's not really a way to pass, and because of the track changing all the time, their lines are always constantly changing, so there's no real preferred line to take. But guys, with all that aggressive driving and all that high level of competition that we saw last night, coming into Saturday night race where they don't have to worry about their trucks coming back to the pits in one piece, we're sure to have a better show than we did last night. And Scott and Rob, I'm sure you guys can talk about how exciting last night was.
Yeah, it was a good one. And the pieces, those pieces that they lose, the fans here, if you're watching online, you're going, darn it, I can't get one of those.
Yeah.
But the fans that are here can walk away with some of those pieces and get some autographed merchandise without even having to pay a dime.
And by doing that, you have to go down to the pit area, and it's wide open pits. It's not like NASCAR. It's not like NHRA. You go around the outside of turn 1 and 2 behind the billboards, make your way past the manufacturer's midway, check out some of the things there. But you see where all the semis are at, all the tents are at, off there outside of turn number 2. That's where the pits are. So tonight's racing, when it's over with, stick around, have some fun, because you know what? Some of these guys have been here for about 5, 6, 7 days even, and they want to kick back. They're not going to be tearing down their semis right away and load up the trucks right away. They're going to take a moment or a couple minutes and maybe a couple hours, maybe tomorrow morning, just to unwind and then start to tear things down. So if you want to have some fun, stick around. I can guarantee you that truck right there where it says Husqvarna on it, that's the Johnson boys. That's their pit area. They're not going to be tearing down tonight because they're from right down the road. All their family is here. All the friends are here. I can guarantee you that. Their older brother Jimmy's going to be tuned in, watching us on the internet as well. So they're going to be having a whole lot of fun. So stick around tonight. Like Robbie said, get one of those autograph material, the fenders, the doors, the hoods, tonight after the racing's done, because I guarantee you someone's going home with a lot of cool stuff.
We talked about the great racing last night. When we return, we'll review what happened last night in all 3 of our classes right after this.
We had these torrential downpours, and these trucks are not designed to have another 2,000 pounds of mud put on them. And then you pack the radiators tight. The tranny gauge, the water gauge, the oil gauge, everything's pegged. the Amsoil product came through for us and kept the rear end, the transmission, and the engine all running fine. And I tell you what, we were ready to go for the next day and pretty proud of it.
The fastest name in radio control.
Once again, welcome back here to Charlotte Motor Speedway, the dirt track. And again, it's round 3 and 4. Actually, it's round 4.
We've done 3.
Yeah, it's round 4 of the tracks of the Off-Road Championship Series presented by Amsoil. As we get ready to get going, let's take a look at last night's racing action. Just a little teaser of what you're going to see tonight.
Yeah, it was Pro Light kicking things off. These are the lower dollar investment of all 3 classes you'll see tonight. Very similar machinery.
22 trucks in the race.
Tires that you could buy and purchase on your own vehicle and go out there and try to race. But it was a good one. It had the whole shot, the 14, but it didn't last very long. Luke Johnson kind of made a left turn and just kept going around, kept his foot in the throttle the entire time.
That's probably what saved it. And look at the move that Keegan Kincaid made to avoid contact. And that's the interesting part. They're both in such a pirouette, they never touched.
The competition yellow, we fired things back up again. It was Doug Matag that was very fast all night long with the 77 in the mix as well. Jared Brooks, look at them making contact. Brad Lovell has to sandwich between those tires. His night.
And here's the big accident that we had last night where Sean Morris got hooked up in a rut, turned sideways. Kincaid had nowhere to go. Up on its side, no fault of his own, put him out of the race. So he was not unhappy. But the interesting part is they got Sean Morris back up on his wheels and he finished the race.
Yeah, unbelievable. The 81 was the fastest of the night, taking the win in that Cooper tired Ram. Doug Matag with the victory. Second going to Jared Brooks and third going to Sean Morris. Rollover and all, he still was able to finish third. But the young gun on top, the 81.
Yep, Doug Matag right there. All the way from California. Great job by him. And there's a live shot right now of the backstretch. Once again, the Team Johnson, boys. And here's our point standing. As of right now, Jarrett Brooks with a 4-point lead over Doug Matag. CJ Greaves tied for second with Doug Matag at 63. Kyle Hart and Keegan Kincaid back in 4th and 5th.
Well, that's just one class. We had 3 racing last night. Pro 2, also known as Pro 2-wheel drive. When we say Pro 2, that means 2 wheels are trying to rip up the earth.
900 horsepower at the green flag. CJ Greaves, who just ran in the Pro Light division, now on the outside in that Monster Energy Toyota, taking the lead right from the green flag.
Jared Johnson had to pull. You see him there in that Husqvarna truck. He does a nice pirouette, but not able to stay out in front. Look at the 25, the Gunk Cooper Tires machine of Ari Leyendijk Jr. Worked his way through the field, getting hooked up just a little bit there with the 91 of Nick Tyree. He worked his way all the way up into third, but nobody was faster than CJ Greaves. He takes the win. That was as close as it would ever get. He was in. Chad Horde snuck to his right. But we had the competition yellow in a little drama.
Yeah, in fact, there was I don't know if you caught it just for a moment there, the window net came down on Ari Leyendijk Jr.'s truck, and he struggled, but was able to get it back up under that yellow flag, so he didn't have to go to the hot pits to get it put up by a crew member. And right here, that's the battle of Steve Barlow for that last podium spot. Barlow had a little problem off the jump, got turned the wrong way, and once again, here it is. Barlow tried to save it, but got turned around the wrong way. Yeah, never touched the wall, but so close.
And in those new cat colors this weekend.
Yeah, we got some cat people here this weekend, so thanks for coming out here. And there's a checkered flag. CJ Greaves, I don't even know how many wins he has at such a young career that he's got going so far, but the kid knows how to wheel.
No doubt, and he knows how to spray the champagne. As we take a look at the top 5 in the Pro 2-wheel drive category, or not, and we might take a look at the Pro 4.
These are the bad boys. Unlimited Pro 4-wheel drive trucks, 900 horsepower, and the battle going on between Mark Jenkins and Johnny Greaves all race long. Let's take a look at Scott Douglas. And once again, here is a little puff of smoke that we saw all night long from Douglas, and there's that competition yellow. This is what defined that race.
Yeah, this is when things tightened up. They were tight to begin with. I think Greaves was backing down, but now you had these top 4 guys all over each other. Watch the 25 of Jenkins, sticks a nose inside, brings him around.
Love tap nice one.
There. Yeah, This is close as you can get. Look at him. Now, side by side. It's a drag race, but you've got a right-hand turn, so you know that Greaves is probably the better position.
Well, you would think so, but then there's that outside berm. Now keep in mind, heavy on that throttle. All you got to do is turn the point, and here is a replay of 2 years ago.
But it was actually last night happening once again. Both guys making contact, and it looks like Jenkins actually getting into the window netting of Johnny Greaves. Look at it again one more time. All the way into the side. It looked like RC cars battling out there last night.
In fact, I think that left A pillar on Johnny's truck was bent a little bit, but he goes and saves it, goes on to take the win. And he was quite relieved to say the least in that interview.
Mike Jenkins second, Mark Jenkins third, unofficially by my report. But looking at the championship point standings, we had the Pro 2 and the Pro 4s. Let's take a look at the Pro 4s first. Now you have a 7-point advantage. Adrian Chinney, the winner that we saw back at Prim, he won one main event. Didn't have such a good night last night. He lost 7 points. It's now a 7-point deficit behind Johnny Greaves, Jenkins, not the law firm, but Mike and Mark, the brothers, ahead of Ross Hook, who has 48 points.
So a very tight points battle, and then we're going to take a quick look at the Pro 2-wheel drive point standings as well. Chad Horde looking very strong. If you notice, how quiet has he been driving?
All top threes, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He's been on the podium every single time. So he's got the points. He was 69. CJ Greaves. They race each other so tight, and both those trucks had every single fender on board.
CJ coming back from a broken spindle, so he had a DNF, but he's worked his way now into second. Mike Jenkins third. You saw him in Pro 4. Jerry Johnson fourth, and Patrick Clark also tied for that top 5 position. Well, it's going to be a good one if it's anything like what we just saw. Scott, we're going to step away for just a moment. You see the track. It is prepped perfectly. We're about to start things. Time to stretch. Get ready, because we're all fired up with opening ceremonies right after this.
When adventure calls, count on the Trail Grappler to get you to your destination, wherever that may be. Large, innovative tread blocks provide additional biting edges to help you command the most challenging terrains as you discover new trails. The Trail Grappler's 3-ply sidewall and thick rubber construction aids puncture resistance and provides durability when you need it most. Nitto Trail Grappler, where road meets trail.
What is it that makes a Husqvarna dealer a Husqvarna dealer? Well, just look close at the engineering in our outdoor power equipment. We're known for high performance and reliability in everything we make. So is it any wonder your Husqvarna dealer is also known for high performance and reliability in everything they do? With a nationwide network of Husqvarna dealers, there's one just around the corner.
Once again, welcome back, everybody. There's a perfect segue from Radar Tire banner out of the track to what we're about to announce right now, Robbie.
Yeah, evidently we've got a big winner in the house tonight. He didn't have to do anything but sign up. Radar Tires has selected their weekend tire giveaway winner, and it is Tim Williams. You've been selected to receive a set of Radar tires. Tim, please visit the Radar Tires tent to claim your prize. Radar Tires will be giving away a set of tires to one lucky fan each race weekend of the TORC series. To get entered to win, simply head over and visit their booth. Get social with Radar Tires on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or at radartires.com. So Tim Williams, you know who you are. You signed up earlier, and you're a winner. You won a set of Radar Tires. It's that easy.
Well, once again, race fans, if right now you're back in Manufacturers Midway or maybe still back in the pit area, you might want to make your way back to the grandstands because we're about a moment away from opening ceremonies. If you're behind the grandstands, please get to your seats as we're opening ceremonies in just a moment. And you know what? This is kind of like the pageantry moment for some of these drivers. This is as close as they're going to get to the fans before the race starts. And this is going to be kind of a cool moment. You being a racer at one point, what was this like for you?
Yeah, no, I thought it was good. And, you know, national anthem, nothing kind of gets your blood, you know, going and, you know, your adrenaline pumping up, and then that signal to start your engines, which we're not saying to do right now. But as a driver, it's an awesome feeling to be out here with the people that have came to watch you and to put on a show. And I promise you, no question in my mind, these guys are about to put on a show.
What is it about Saturday night, though? Yeah, we can race on Thursday night, Friday night, but there's something about Saturday night. Whether it's a psychological thing, I don't know, but we've been sitting around pretty much all day long. The crews have been sitting around all day long. Maybe working the race trucks, yeah, but for the most part, we haven't been racing at all. The mindset's been kind of off of that. Well, now it's kind of like the guys are antsy. It's time to get serious.
You're exactly right, and you saw the full inside lineup, the inside row, now the outside. This is our biggest class. What, 22 drivers have already pre-qualified to put themselves in these positions. We'll do the brief rundown here after a little bit, but 22 drivers on this track, and we do have competition yellows. In case you're questioning what a competition yellow is, at the halfway point of the race, we go ahead and throw that mandatory caution, and then they pack back up again and take off for the back half of the race. And that's for all three disciplines.
Yeah, exactly, and I'm seeing something interesting. I'm not sure exactly why, but Sean Morris is starting dead last in the field as he finished on the podium yesterday, and I have no idea why.
Engine change, possibly truck change.
Yeah. Some news happened down in the pits that I wasn't aware of, so we'll find out, see if we can find out what's happening and report it to you as such. But with 22 trucks, these are standardized chassis. Sealed motors, right around about 500, 550 horsepower, sealed transmissions. You can't touch them. You can adjust. You can try experimenting with different torque converters. The tires are basically the same size tires, or same tires you can buy right off the shelf. So the tire manufacturers really pay a lot of attention to this class right here. Yeah, they go out there and groove the tires according to the track conditions, whether it's muddy, whether it's dry, whatever it may be, driving style. But these are the same tires, whatever the manufacturer is, that you can buy off the shelf. And
you're seeing Cam Reimers in the 21. He's got inside pole. Some of the people at Maxon Construction here representing him, or he's representing them. Good to have them on board. And there's your pole sitter. He's fortunate to be in that position. Let's see how long he can stay there.
If they can just keep that kid calm, that's the biggest thing. He's one of these guys that always has a smile on his face and always giddy and wants to joke around and have some fun. But if they can just keep him calm for a couple of laps, let the guys separate a little bit. And there's a great shot of our entire field. You see Luke Johnson in that peak antifreeze, the blue and white entry right there.
Brad Lovell was just in front of me. He gave me a ride around the track, and a lot of the lucky fans got to drive around this, or ride around this track earlier.
And there's that yellow Nissan of Mark Kleiman. It's his birthday today. I'm not too sure what his age is, but he's got one of his sons out here racing.
Give me a guess.
There's Mark Kleiman right there. Happy birthday to that man from Bark River, Michigan.
Give me a guess. I want to put you on the spot.
Oh, dude. 43, 44.
All right, I'll try and effort that, but I don't know that I'll be able to. I don't know if 43. Man, you're good.
Oh, man.
I wanted you to say.
He's buying me dinner at the Bark River race. Wow.
I wanted you to say 50. Said maybe he might be 44 today, actually. So I was hoping you would overguess him, and that way you've got to be, because you wouldn't be a logger's best friend if you guessed wrong.
That and his wife would be up the elevator so fast right about now.
She always looks young, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But what a great shot of our entire field. Jarrett Brooks starting on the inside of row 3. He's got to be the favorite, no matter how fast, and no matter the fact that he's got C.J. Greaves right in front of him, always a powerhouse. Jarrett Brooks, I think, right now is the man with a target on his back. He's the fastest driver out on this track all weekend long. But I, from a sentimental standpoint, look at the outside of row 1. Jesse Johnson, local guy from right here in Charlotte. His older brother's racing this weekend someplace else. Meanwhile, his other older brother is going to be coming out in just a few minutes or so with Pro 2. So the Johnson brothers are on a couple different tracks here across the country.
A lot of people checked him out in the Johnsonville area, as we talked about.
There's Luke Johnson. He's actually the son of Ricky Johnson. If you were here,
champion.
motocross fame, absolutely. And who's got, even with all his credentials in motocross, Ricky Johnson's got as big a one in off-road racing. Wow.
He was my childhood hero growing up, and his son, he's like, if you're a motocross racer, you generally say, I'd rather you have a roll cage around you. His son is doing that. And you said a privateer effort. Yes, he may, have peak sponsorship, but, I mean, he was driving across country. He came from the West Coast
in a box truck pulling an open trailer.
Right.
I'm sorry, a closed trailer, but still.
But a big trailer that, and if you've ever had to drive from California to North Carolina, that is one long trek.
And he's got help of a couple of his friends and such, but it's – he's going through. He's still graduating from college. He's school graduation coming up real soon, so he's in school during the day. He drives a very crazy route to get to the shop, and then works on his truck during the night. So.
Good for opening ceremonies. Don't fire him.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's now that time. As we get ready now for round 4 of the 2014 season, we got the best Pro Light drivers in the country here trackside. If we could have everyone now please rise And it's my honor to introduce to you tonight our representative from Racers for Christ for our opening invocation down at the podium, Tommy Pressler.
Father, we just thank you, Lord, for giving us another day. And Lord, especially a day like this, Lord, it's just a great day for racing. Father, we just thank you for, Lord, giving us the opportunity and the fans to able to come out and see something exciting as this. Lord, we just want to pray for each driver tonight in a special, special way. Dear Lord, you have given them the talent of racing. So, Father, I just pray you'll be with them and have your hand on them and let everyone finish well, God. Lord, we're also thankful, Lord, that you love us. Lord, we're thankful, dear Lord, that you don't want to judge us or, Lord, condemn us for our sin because you proved that to us by Calvary. I thank you, Lord, for dying, for your burial, for your resurrection, for your one and only Son, Jesus Christ. Lord, I just thank you, ask you to bless Husqvarna here, Lord, for giving us tools to make our jobs easier. And we just ask you to bless each person who had a hand in making this event possible. Lord, we thank you, we love you, we praise you. And we ask all these things in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Dude, he threw out a shout out to Husqvarna mid-prayer. Did you catch that?
Freedom. They made the choice to put themselves in harm's way to protect our freedoms. So once again, we don't have to. They made the choice to put themselves in harm's way so our children don't have to. They made that choice to put themselves in harm's way so we can do what we want to do when we want to do it. So Charlotte, right now, how about a big round of applause of thank you to all of our service people serving our country across this globe. So Charlotte, right now, please remain standing. Gentlemen, remove your hats. As once again, we're about to hear the greatest song in the world about the greatest country in the world. Right now, presenting our colors from the Fred T. Forward High School Army Junior ROTC Color Guard out of Newton, North Carolina, Cadet Captain Tanner Whitener, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Dylan Souls, Cadet Sergeant Sierra Griffin, and Cadet Sergeant First Class Victor Hernandez. And now, singing our national anthem, Lauren Hill. Race fans, let's hear it one more time for our anthem singer Lauren Hill and your Fred T. Forward High School Army Junior ROTC Color Guard.
Well, one thing for certain is we had two very, very good national anthem singers back-to-back nights, and that's the way you want to kick things off for the evening. Perfect conditions. Welcome everybody watching around the world on YouTube, on the Motortrend channel. Thanks for watching this event here. Tonight's racing will be shown on the NBC Sports Network on May 1st at 10 p.m. Eastern. So you can see your mug on TV possibly. Fans, they love shooting the cameras out in the crowd, getting those reaction shots, and I promise you're going to have some wide open mouth reactions tonight. There's going to be a lot. I mean, the cameras could be anywhere. That's the thing. And like you said, they'll be aimed in every direction, especially between races. Even though they're racing out on the track between races, they're still going to be scanning the crowd. So you just might see yourself on TV come, and there's one of them right now in the infield aimed directly at the audience. You know what? Kelly Snyder's been doing some work again. She's got some more information for us. Kelly, what do you got?
Well, guys, they were trying to line up in staging, and they started the engines a little early for me to catch one before these opening ceremonies. But I went over to our defending Pro Light champ from 2013, Keegan Kincaid, and he told us, if there's one thing I want tonight, it's one word, Kelly: redemption. So, Scott, watch for Keegan Kincaid, and Robbie, make sure he's 1 second behind Jared Brooks with the fastest time from today's qualifying. So if somebody can get redemption and try to land on the #1 box today, it's going to be our reigning champ, Keegan.
Well, she's got that absolutely correct, because Keegan Kincaid has got probably one of the best mentors, who's his dad right now running in Pro 2 later on tonight. And when you have a father with multiple Pro Light championships, as well as a lot of Pro 2 wins, Jeff Kincaid, he's going to be handing down a lot of information to his son, Keegan.
Well, Keegan, last night finishing in 10th, he was going a lot faster than that 10th place that he received, but definitely one of the guys to look for in the number 7. 3 classes you'll see tonight. We'll kick things off with the Pro Light, followed by the Pro 2-wheel drive and the Pro 4-wheel drive. In last night's winner in the Pro Light, Doug Matag, and that Cooper Tire Ram. He will be the one to watch to see if he can repeat here tonight. He will start on the outside of the second row, number 81. We'll be back with Pro Lights right after this.
We build tires, but not tires like anybody else. We build Cooper tires for people, not just cars. People who are chauffeurs and shuttle pilots, heavy haulers and heavy hitters. More than what your Cooper tires can do, it's about what you can do with your Cooper tires. Life's a road trip. Come on, let's go.
Once again, welcome back, everybody, here to beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina. As you see in the background there, is Charlotte Motor Speedway, the NASCAR track. We're here for rounds 4 of the Husqvarna Showdown at the dirt track here in Charlotte. Boy, what more can I say? Such a contrast of scenery, what we had just a few weeks ago back in Primm, Nevada, out in the middle of the desert.
You're exactly right, but the one thing that we are aware of or can't wait to see is these 22 guys ready to hit the track for the first time. The first race tonight will be the Pro Lights. I believe we're about 1 minute away from firing these bad boys up. And this is our biggest class, but I promise you, even though there's less guys in the other classes, the racing is just as intense, if not even more.
Well, what the interesting thing is, too, you got such an age variation from, I believe, up from 16 years old. And I want to say Randy Eller's in his early mid-50s. So there's such a vast age, and the skill level is still very equal. Standardized chassis. We got 12 inches of travel in the front, 16 in the rear, about 400, maybe 500 horsepower, sealed transmission, sealed motors, and really only thing you can do in the drivetrain for adjustment is in the torque converter. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's now that time. The cameras are rolling for NBC Sports Network. It's up to you to fire up these race trucks. It's going to count down from 5 to 1. Gentlemen, start your engines. Charlotte, can you do it? Guys, here we go. The cameras are rolling. Here we go. 5, 4, 3. And we're about to go racing TORC style. Robbie, the goosebumps are now on, man. I'm ready to go, buddy.
I got it. I'm Chicken Skin Floyd right now. 22 of the best drivers in off-road racing about to hit the track for the first time this afternoon in a racing situation. Qualifying earlier, these guys did. The other guys actually qualified from their finishing positions last night. But these guys, they hit the track one more time. 22 of them, that's 11 starting rows. 11 rows, these guys. Yesterday, Scott, you said you wanted to be on the outside if you had the, the front row starting spot. The track is groomed perfectly right now, so it's not going to be slippery on that inside. Do you still take the outside if you had your choice?
Right now, I really don't know. I'm kind of thinking there's going to be, if I can get advantage of the guy next to me, I think I'm going to stay in the middle right about now, because outside, it's too iffy. Inside, I think it might be too wet. But the thing is, the front 4 trucks, I think, are going to decide who's going to lead the first lap. You got 2 guys that are really excitable on the front row. Outside, you got local guy. Nobody wants to win this race more than Jesse Johnson right now from right here in Charlotte, North Carolina. On the inside of him, you got another young driver, very excitable, Cam Reimers. He is really, really amped up, as he's got one of his major sponsors here this weekend and being part of this. So if we could just keep that kid calm, I think he might be the one to be able to pull out the whole shot and possibly lead the first part of this race.
That's a little bit of a testing session. It's a sight lap for them. I haven't been out there for a while, but it's also not just to test the equipment, but to see how the track is watered, how it was groomed, and where it was groomed, and how much it is watered in those spots.
You know, one thing we're going to keep an eye on as well are these jumps. We talked to some of the drivers. I had a chance to talk to them. I actually walked the track late last night, and you're familiar with this, so you tell me how this works out. The jumps on the infield are basically black dirt. They're not the red clay. So you can kind of punch through it. They're kind of soft. So they rut up much like in a supercross or arena cross track. And that's what these guys are doing. Same thing. How do you do this? How do you work that kind of track?
Last night we saw you don't want to get in that rut. We talked to Kelly. We'll hear from her later. They were getting to the sidewalls of the tires. You don't want to do that. Roll a tire off, pop a tire, do that. So they're wanting to straddle those ruts to stay out of it, because you don't want to get in a hooking situation. Let's go run through this rundown really quick. 11 rows, starting on the outside of row 11 in the Maxxis Tire Forward, sponsored by Maxxis and Amsoil. The 27 of Sean Morris to his left on row 11. The number 9 on the Cooper Tires Ram, sponsored by bodybuilding.com and Wishes for Warriors. That's Bobby Runyon.
On the next row forward in row 10 on the inside is Andrew Kosick. He's running on Canati Tires, Cycle, and Next Gen Industries. Alongside him from Southern Wisconsin is Jason Janis in the Nissan, running on Toyo Tires.
Jeff Sleeger's on the inside of 9, number 99 on a BFG Ford, sponsored by Psycho Plastics. To his right, Ian Harris on the Radar Ford, sponsored by SSI Decals and Maxon Construction.
Inside of row 8, the yellow number 42 out of Barker River, Michigan, Mark Kleiman in the Nissan Kenda, sponsored Ponzi Logging Equipment, number 42. Alongside him, Joey Sylvester, running in a Ram Cooper Tire JSM team and Amsoil.
We're going to go through these quick. It looks like Travis Dinsmore, the 43 inside of row 7 on the Kendra Nissan, sponsored by Ponzi Kendra Tires. The 54, Brian Osborne, to his right on the Cooper Tire Ford with the Black Rhino machine.
Inside of row 6, it's Luke Johnson from Southern California, Scott Boshaw from Barker River, Michigan.
Brad Lovell on the inside of 5, Tim Limerand on the outside of 5.
Inside of row 4, Randy Eller from Taylorsville, Illinois, and Kyle Kleiman from Bark River.
Jarrett Brooks on the inside of 3, Keegan Kincaid on the outside.
It's CJ Greaves and Doug Matag make up row 2, Cam Reimers and Jesse Johnson row 1. Here we go, Charlotte!
Cam Reimers on the inside, Jesse Johnson on the outside. Who's going to get this start heading down the back straightaway? The outside, without doubt. The faster line there. Your hometown favorite out in front. Jesse Johnson, the 15 on the Maxxis Tire Chevy Husqvarna drive. Look at that, but he goes wide and he loses position for a brief moment.
But he's got that momentum built up on the outside. Here comes CJ Greaves from row 3 to second spot on the track.
That might be first. Did you see Johnson riding the nose there? CJ Greaves now taking over the lead, but he's going to be on the outside. Does he try and squeeze Johnson just a little bit? Watch this into the last turn.
Johnson's going to ride him clean, but he'll go tight to the inside. Greaves up against the wall. He got the momentum and a run off the corner down the front straightaway. It's CJ Greaves, Jesse Johnson, Doug Matag, Cam Reimers, and Keegan Kincaid.
So 4th to 1st in less than 1 lap. CJ Greaves, last night's winner in the Pro 2 division, now out in front in the Pro Light.
And how about Kyle Kleiman? Kleiman now running in, let's see, the top 6. So nice job by him working his way forward. And here comes Jarrett Brooks right alongside.
Find your favorites. Boy, I'll tell you, that last kicker looks tough. before that right-hander. They are not able to make that triple in these trucks, and they are sticking that front end there. We might see something happen there as the night progresses.
Once again, our leaders come up onto the front stretch. Again, it's C.J. Greaves, Jesse Johnson, and Doug Matag, 1, 2, and 3. Keegan Kincaid has gotten around Cam Reimers, so Kincaid now in the top 4. Matag is just slightly scraping the outside wall in turn 1. Our leaders heading down the backstretch.
Kyle Kleiman in 6th, Jared Brooks. We expect him to move up. He's still back in 7th. Watch for the 77. I think I see the 44, Brad Lovell, trying to make his way and get inside that top 7 or 8. It looks like he's back there at about 7th right now.
Jesse Johnson's just leaving that door just to open just a little bit too much. Is
Full yellow.
Full course yellow. Let's see.
Somebody inside the right-hander, and that wasn't even Lovell that I was seeing.
Oh, right directly across the track in the middle.
Okay.
See, it's a Sleeko.
And I'm surprised.
Sleeko, is that Jeff Sleekers? I can't quite see.
Yeah, but I'm surprised in that position
43.
that they would call the full yellow.
That's Travis Dinsmore. He's already out of the truck, so tough break for Travis Dinsmore out of Canada. That's a 2-truck team right there. So didn't have a very good run last night, had some issues. I believe was able to finish the race, but again, now early problems right here. And we've got another truck with problems. Headed down the backstretch. Is he heading into the hot pits? No. There's a quick shot of Dinsmore.
Maybe it's Stalls that who was on that inside of the right-hander. Jared Brooks, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 spots. So I thought he may move up. He's up into 6th now, or he started in 5th, but he looked very gamey early on in this one.
So that's Andrew Kosick right now in that Jack Links entry, running through the infield, trying to catch up to the pack. I'm not exactly sure what happened to him.
Well, the Richard Petty 43 number not doing so good for Travis Dinsmore.
Here's number 95, our Jack Links entry. Once again, Too Fast Racing of Andrew Kosick. He's actually running on a brand new tire that nobody else is running on. Canati tires. I never heard of that before until I went and talked to him last night. But they're extreme performance tires. But they are available off the shelf, so it ought to be interesting to see how they work out for him. But it's kind of neat to see different tire manufacturers getting into this series.
The first 2 laps separated by only 2 seconds, and less than 2 seconds for the top 3 drivers. C.J. Greaves going to lead Jesse Johnson, Doug Matag around. There's the acceleration cone right there, and he fires it up, gets it going in that monster truck.
And C.J. Greaves gets a good run off the start. Jesse Johnson right behind, but Matag right on that back bumper. Jeff Kincaid. Hey, how about Kleiman? Kleiman goes around the outside of Brooks and on the outside of Reimers, trying to move into the top 5.
Yeah, Reimers is he's trying that low line, and it's not working. You saw how much faster Kleiman was. Now Kleiman sets up on the inside. Watch that section right there. Oh, Johnson again. I'm telling you, that last kicker, they are nosing in, getting a lot of rebound from the rear, and that front end's dropping. We're going to have somebody pogo if it keeps up, especially if it cups out even more.
So that's Kyle Kleiman, I believe it. Yeah, Kyle Kleiman out there right now, running in that 5th spot. So he's got a great run going. Jared Brooks takes a look to the inside of Cam Reimers trying to move forward. As you can see right now, there's a great shot of our top 5-6 trucks starting to really spread out.
I see Luke Johnson, who started in 11th spot. He's up in the 8th position, so he's already made up 3 passes in the first few laps. Watch this section here. Watch the last kicker. Watch him nose down.
There's a double, almost triple right there.
Right there. See, Johnson's setup's not quite the same. It really wants to dive on that last kicker to the right.
Well, CJ's trying to triple through that, so he's actually kind of skips off that last one. And right now, Jesse's trying to just double through there. That might be part of the problem. And we have another yellow flag out. Oh, we got truck over on that side in the infield. That's a strange spot right there. No idea. The belly pan is. The floor plan's right in our face, so we can't see who it is at all.
If you want to check out the skid plate on what one of these trucks looks like, there you go.
There's a sponsor opportunity.
Right, exactly. You don't want to be upside down, but when you do, we want you to think of us. And we don't mean to laugh at anybody else's misfortune, but that's just a little tump over there. He'll get back going and probably be back in the race. So 3 laps now. It looks like official on my timing and scoring again. Only 2.04 seconds separate C.J. Greaves, Jesse Johnson, and Doug Matag, last night's winner, 81.
Let's see. I want to say that's Bobby Runyon. It's hard to tell from our vantage point. Bobby Runyon Jr. out of Northern California.
Yeah, it is. That's Bobby. And he had problems with this block, had some engine issues where he may have a cracked block. But he said, I'm okay with that unless I see the temperature spike. But he actually had a loaned part. You know, what were you talking about, the power steering?
The power steering pump. Actually, it's a steering ram, and was able to work on that. But instead of having a 1-to-1 steering ratio, now it's a steering, the ratio is 1 to 1.5. So probably having to get used to that a little.
Is that quicker or slower? I'm not very smart at that.
It's actually, you have to turn more
so
to make the corner, so it's actually slower, I guess you'd
like
say.
a bus driver.
Yeah. Get one of those suicide knobs they're called and just kind of swing it around.
Is that legal?
You know, I don't think everybody's ever tried that.
No.
So we're giving, I would say, 1 to go before we go back to green. So you see the TORC pace truck out on the racetrack, the 00.
Oh, my time is scoring. I have 3 laps. Again, I want to remind everybody watching around the world and here live in Charlotte, everything that Robbie Floyd says tonight is officially unofficial. You've been at this longer, but everything I say is officially unofficial. And unofficially, C.J. Greaves leads Jesse Johnson, Doug Matag, Keegan Kincaid in the 7, and Kyle Kleiman, who's running strong in that outside first turn. Curious to see, watch the guys where they set up inside or outside in that first turn, because the outside definitely looks like it's hooking up better right now.
Yeah, I'm thinking right where they're going right now around turn 1.
It's a sweet spot.
Is the middle spot, and I think that might be the line right now. Like you say, though, I think it's going to end up going wider and higher on the outside up to the wall. Last night they were basically scraping the rear bumper all around that racetrack up against 1 and 2. So we're going to find out. And let's see. Yep, we're going all the way through 3 and 4 of the oval. We'll be going green this time by. Once again, C.J. Greaves, Jesse Johnson from Charlotte. How about that? Still running in 2nd. Doug Matag 3rd. Keegan Kincaid. Is that Kyle? Oh boy, I'm always getting this screwed up. Yeah, Kyle Kleiman running in the top 5.
Here we go.
Green is out. Here we go. One more time.
They have to stay single file until that jump. And it looks like single file there. One brave soul. Looks like Doug Matag taking it inside. Watch and see if he loses ground or not. He loses a little ground because Kleiman closes in on him.
Keegan Kincaid taps the back bumper of Jesse Johnson coming off that jump. He'll slide to the inside, trying to take the spot away. It does.
What about the slide job of the 7? Keegan Kincaid moves into 2nd. Look at those guys. Oh,
Doug Matag just lawn darts one of the jumps through the infield, trying to go to the inside of Jesse Johnson. He'll fall back to 4th in the position.
Kleiman in 5th, it looks like. 6 is Reimers. 7, is that Joe Sylvester moved all the way up?
I believe that's Sylvester, yeah.
He has moved up considerably. He was back in 10th place on that last lap. Now Sylvester up into 7th. He got about 3 drivers in that 1 lap.
Oh, how about this? If we go back 10 years, that's Johnny Greaves racing against Jeff Kincaid. Now it's their boys out there, yeah. And talk about, we heard that
whoa,
Kincaid!
Bicycle.
Wow!
Stayed in it.
You called it, Robbie. Wow!
Stays in it though. That's the best part. He steered enough to the outside to keep it on 2 wheels just long enough to get traction and just throttled out of that situation. That is a highlight reel.
Yeah, Kelly Snyder called that Keegan's going after redemption tonight, and it certainly looks like he's on that bike right now.
3 different winners in this class in all 3 nights. It started the season with C.J. Greaves, then Jarrett Brooks, and Doug Matag. Will we have a 4th winner in Keegan Kincaid here tonight? He's currently in 2nd, but knocking on the door of C.J. Greaves in that monster Toyota.
You see C.J. still tripling his way through that rhythm section. Kincaid doubling, but not losing any ground whatsoever. Doug Matag, now he was so fast last night. I'm wondering if he's just kind of sizing up these guys until that
competition yellow.
Yeah, exactly.
There's some body panel work coming off of the 8 of Joe Sylvester. He loses that, you can probably get his autograph after the show.
Exactly.
Taking that high line, trying to find that nice cushion.
Kincaid looks like he lost a little ground to C.J. Greaves right now.
Matag maybe closing in just a little bit. Matag would probably rather be into second on that restart.
Oh, you called it. Wow.
He's second now, but he's on the outside. Let's see what happens. Watch these two guys side by side. Pogo, oh, he got underneath him a little bit, and now he's really underneath him. Doug Matag, can he hold on to this position? He's still set up on that outside as they make the last left-hand turn.
No, that's a split lane, and they both stay. They all actually ran through the same lane on the outside through the infield. Now they're still side by side. Coming on the front stretch, and it looks like Kincaid will retake second over Doug Matag. Meanwhile, CJ Greaves, about 12, maybe 15 car length lead.
That's okay for them because they know they're going to get that mandatory caution at the halfway point. So get yourself into second. Before you can get to first you must be second.
So it looks like Jesse Johnson's fallen back a couple spots. Now I want to say 6th, maybe 7th, as Sheriff Brooks and Kleiman are still working their way forward.
Jesse Johnson, who was our pole sitter, dropping back into 7th. Sylvester 8th. Brad
Oh,
Lovell in
Kleiman!
9th.
I just called him out.
What happened?
And now he pulls off the track into the infield, over-rotates to the right-hand turn. So Kleiman loses a lot of positions.
Look at the race for second. I think that's the one, though, because we should be closing in here in just a moment. 8 laps I have completed. You see Kleiman in the yellow machine, the 42, right through the middle, making that left-hand turn. Lost a few.
Robbie, look at these trucks. Our lead 4, 5, maybe 6 trucks. The profile of these trucks on the track, the ride height, when they accelerate, the rear of these trucks absolutely squat down. And there's supposed to be 14 inches of travel in the back, but when they accelerate, there's probably 2, maybe 3 inches, as they are just grabbing for traction right now.
The yellow is out. Competition yellow has begun. We're halfway. So halfway through this main event for the Pro Lights. This is our first race of the night. This is not qualifying. They have been there, done that. CJ Greaves out in front of Keegan Kincaid and Doug McCagg. Let's quickly go down to Kelly Snyder for a mid-race report.
Well, guys, there's so many variables here in this Pro Light class, but one thing that's pretty noticeable at the halfway point is tire selection and tire sponsors. We saw Doug Matag and Keegan Kincaid battling it out, but those guys are both on Cooper tires, so they may not have an advantage over each other because they're running the same tire compound. But they're not running the same tire compound as CJ Greaves, so that may play into how this track may shape out. Keegan and Doug Matag may have grooved their tires and set them up for the second half of the race, or maybe CJ set them up for the first half. We'll have to see what happens, but it's always a battle of the tires out here in the Pro Light division.
Well, thanks a lot, Kelly. She's right on top of it, knowing about the tires, who's running what, the groove patterns. So Kelly knows what's going on down trackside. In fact, it looks like we may have another problem with one of our drivers pulls off to the infield. Bobby Runyon Jr. in that number 9. The window that is still up, but pulls off the track right here in front of the crowd with some sort of engine problems, I would guess.
I would say the temp started moving up, and to keep it safe, he probably just pulled off the track to save that motor for another day. He said he would if the temps got up, and when they're pushing it and running that hard, that temp has to move up. He was on his side for a while, too. Maybe, not enough oil in there. They start hearing stuff. I would shut it down and save my pocketbook.
So right now our running order is CJ Greaves up front, Keegan Kincaid in second, Doug Matag third, Jared Brooks, Cam Reimer still running a very respectable top 5. With Jesse Johnson's definitely not out of it yet, the 48 of Kyle Kleiman. He had issues. He was running the top 5, but had issues and kind of got squirrely in the infield and fell back a little bit. But
Brad Lovell did the same thing.
Yeah.
He was started 9th. I thought I saw him earlier. It wasn't him. He dropped back to probably 11th, 12th, but he's moved his way back up into 8th.
I kind of wonder if something happened. I missed it, but I wonder if something happened between Brad Lovell and Joey Sylvester along with Kleiman, because they all 3 of those trucks are working their way to the front and now have gotten themselves back into the mid-pack. It's kind of cool when I'm handed notes every once in a while. Some special little fans. I actually got to call out a happy birthday with Jacob, turned 11 today. So I hope he's watching. Happy birthday to you, Jacob, watching us here in the TORC, the Off-Road Championship presented by AMSO, as well as Jesse Biggerstaff. I guess he just got out of the hospital, young Jesse Biggerstaff. He just got out of the hospital, still in a wheelchair.
Now he's watching TORC.
but he's watching it, so thanks a lot, guys. And maybe someday we can get you out here to the racetrack and hang out with us.
All right, so this is the bypass of the midsection. That means it's time to go, correct?
Yeah, lights are off on the pace truck. Here we go, one more time for the second half. Charlotte, get ready, because here comes Pro Light. CJ Greaves, Keegan Kincaid, Doug Matag, Jarrett Brooks, and Cam Reiners, 1 through 5.
Look how tight they are over the first jump. It's Keegan Kincaid all in the back end, and he's going to be high too. That's where that groove seems to be pushing. Look at this drive. He gets on that outside.
Talk about a run down the corner. Not able to retake the lead to Matag. Tags the pack of Keegan Kincaid. He'll go inside. They're 3 wide. They're in the infield.
Third to first, and look at this. They're going to be hooked up just a little bit. CJ's not letting up, but he has to, or he would bring around Doug Matag. Matag into second. Look at this.
There is aggression going on right now. Now keep an eye on the tire smoke we've been
Whoa.
seeing. Look out for Kincaid.
We've got a tow truck instead of a torque truck, and Keegan Kincaid drops back to third. Greaves is way back, goes from first to worst right now. Unbelievable.
Something happened to the front of Keegan Kincaid truck. He kicked the top of that jump up, fired back up. Kincaid's back underway, but he's almost dead last on the field. There goes the redemption, but man, in the infield, now we got a brand new leader, but keep an eye, all that contact. We saw a puff of smoke a couple different times. Climbing goes around. Wait a minute, keep an eye on that Monster Energy Toyota. Right front flat tire on Greaves. Greaves has a right front flat tire. I was just about to say, we saw a puff of smoke 3 or 4 different times. That was from tire rubbing. I wondered if Ed Kleiman pulls off the track.
Jesse Johnson in third. Jarrett Brooks, we thought he would move up. He's done so. He's in second place. Does he have enough time to catch Doug Matag? Last night's winner looks very strong.
Oh, big time rollover. Huge rollover in turn 4 of the oval. That's Kincaid. In the same spot as the last lap, Kincaid did a wheelie off that tabletop. And now I just saw it happen about mid-pack. Flash fire looks like out of the transmission.
Will that enable CJ Greaves to go to the hot pit? And look at him. Look at the back straightaway. CJ Greaves goes into the hot pit. He's going to do a tire change. And we take a look at the replay here. Look at the video board across the way. Watch what happens.
Oh, Kincaid got major help from the outside. Rolls over 5, 6, 7 times.
And it looks like
Zach Dinsmore
was just out of control
the
right
99.
there. Is that Sleegers?
Yeah, that's Jeff Sleegers, actually. Sleegers.
He was just
got
out
in
of
really hard, and he is hot.
Oh, yeah, he's going.
He is upset right now.
Well, wait till he sees that replay. He's going to be even more upset.
He's going to go. He
Listen
knows
to the
exactly
crowd.
what happened.
The crowd knows what's happened.
And here's the interesting part. Our safety crew right there, all 3 of our safety USAC officials personally knows Keegan Kincaid. They're from the same hometown. So they're trying to calm down that young man. Let's take another look at what took place.
Well,
none of that was Jeff Kincaid's fault.
Now, Jeff Sleegers, I think, was out of control, and it gets into him too hard. But, I mean, Sleegers almost doesn't stop
Look
himself.
to the outside, dead center of the camera, overshoots that double jump.
Just landing right in the back.
Gets underneath the back of the number 7.
We're talking roll here, too, almost for Sleegers. He had to do everything he could to save it. I wonder if Keegan even knows who did it.
That's actually, no, that's Bobby Runyon Jr. earlier. He's got right front. That's Bobby Runyon Jr. Right here in front of us. Wow. So let's throw this back into a running order. What do we have here? We've got Doug Matag up front, Jarrett Brooks, Jesse Johnson, keeping it clean. Right now, he's got every fender on that truck. All that going on, he's got every fender on that Husqvarna Chevrolet. Brad Lovell in the 4th spot, and Sean Morris.
Yep.
Second to last in the field at the start, now running in the top 5.
It looks like the pace truck's pulling off. You look at the very back, CJ Greaves. Can he mount a charge? We have 11 laps down. This is a 18-lap race. Here we go one more time.
Clean restart going into turn 1. Our top 3 trucks all way against the wall. Cam Reimer's trying to go down the inside. Here comes Joey Sylvester down the middle, trying to make a pass going for that top 6 spot.
Look at the race for first again. We're 2 wide as they make that first hard left-hander. Doug Matag still in front of Jarrett Brooks. These are 2 winners this year. The last 2 winners actually in TORC the Off-Road Championship. Matag in the 81 won last night. Jarrett Brooks won night number 2 in Primm, Nevada.
Here comes Brad Lovell. Lovell down the top 4.
And Lovell started way back there, started in 9th position, currently in 4th. Uh-oh, in that last turn, guys are starting to get together, but the front 2 trying to check out.
Reimers goes around, over-rotates as a complete 360, falls back 4 or 5 spots. Tough break for him. Sean Morris gets back around Lovell again. Here comes Lovell now back to the inside as our leaders just throwing their truck sideways into the infield turn.
And that's on that back straightaway, making that sharp left. That would be turn 2. Turn 3 would be the right-hander, the only right-hand turn we have on the entire track. That doesn't mean they're turning right a bunch. Golly, sticking the nose in there's Jesse Johnson. A big flame out from underneath that Maxxis Chevy.
I'm telling you, great battle. It's going to be a 3-truck battle. Jesse Johnson slowing. Johnson is slowing. Was running in 3rd spot. The Husqvarna Chevrolet.
There he goes. He got it
looks
fired
like
up.
he stalled it.
I told you I saw a big fireball. That thing loaded up. I mean, that was unspent gas or unburned gas, and it had to have flooded for some reason.
So something with the floats in the carburetor, and once again, Cam Reimers comes to a stop in turn 4 of the oval.
And
so he's right in traffic right now, so we'll see if a yellow comes out for that spot.
Yeah, I don't know unless he breaks something in the steering. It looks like they're going to try and hook him up. They've got just a few seconds. They better get the caution out quickly.
And full course caution comes out.
And you can do a local caution in one area, correct? But that is not the area when you're on it hard. We're seeing all the action right there in that turn.
Yep. So the pace truck will come up one more time. And again, Johnson's having all kinds of problems as he's come to a stop one more time.
I saw it that one time, and he stuck the nose. Remember, all those times he was nosing down, but I saw one big hiccup, one big burp of VP fuel, and shortly thereafter, that truck stalled. He got it fired back up. It looks like he's
such
dead
a
engine
tough
again.
break for that young man. Such high hope starting the front row. Was racing just a moment ago for a final podium spot.
And this is our title sponsor here this week in the Husqvarna Showdown, and that is his sponsor of his team. Johnsonville just over there on the backside.
That's what he named it, just so everybody knows. He's calling it Johnsonville.
I'm calling that Johnsonville. No association with the Brats.
So once again, our running order is Doug Matag, Jarrett Brooks, Brad Lovell running in the 3rd spot. I still got to throw it out for Sean Morris, starting in the back row, now running that 4th spot. How about Luke Johnson?
Hey, Luke Johnson doing good. CJ Greaves has worked up from 8th, and what do we have? I had him earlier at about 14th, so he passed 6 people in a few laps. There's still
damage on Brian Osborne.
5 laps to go in this race. Uh-oh, truck's pulling off. We're about to fire it up. Pick your favorite driver. Is it Doug Matag in the 81? Is it the 77 of Brooks or any of the other drivers just behind him? It's anyone's ball game right now. We still have a lot of racing to go. 5 laps remaining.
Good jump by Matag. He played it right with the rest of the field.
Greaves going to that inside. Might have made the pass a little early, but it looks like he's in 8th, trying to make it 7th.
Trying to get around the inside is Scott Beauchamp of Bark River, Michigan. Luke Johnson going inside of Beauchamp. He'll make the pass. And here comes now CJ Greaves inside of Luke Johnson.
He didn't get 1, he got 2, but Luke's going to be on the inside, but Greaves going to have a good, smooth line on that outside. Watch him. Greaves is up to 5th place, and he was in last 3 laps ago.
He pitted in the hot pits to change a tire. And no, keep in mind, he's the only driver out there right now tripling his way to the infield rhythm section.
Doug Matag crosses lap 14 ahead of Jarrett Brooks. Only half a second separate those front 2. 1.5 seconds behind Brad Lovell, who's worked his way from 9th.
Matag up against the wall, coming out of 2. Big dirt roost, huge.
Why isn't his last name ends with Tag, and we see him doing just that both nights tonight?
And I wonder if that damage in that right rear fender is from him bouncing off the wall or for somebody getting into him. It's hard to tell. But man, keep your eye on CJ Greaves. Again, the only truck to triple his way through that rhythm section.
Sean Morris has him just in front. There's our front 2 on the video board. Lovell in 3rd, Morris 4th, 5th is Greaves. This will be lap 15 when they come around.
Greaves looks like he'll take the outside line as our leaders are both up against the wall. Matag goes into the corner up against the wall, then Diamond's down to the inside. trying to make that corner just a little bit shorter in distance. But Jarrett Johnson stays to the outside. I'm sorry. Yeah, Jarrett Johnson stays to the outside up against the wall, keeps that momentum through the infield. Now actually gained about a length or two, so now he's within 2 truck lengths of Doug Matag, our leader.
You mean Jarrett Brooks back in second, the 77. He is very fast. Greaves and Morris getting at it. Look at the race for out front, though, as we're looking on board or looking at Greaves. He's going to be set up on that inside.
Sean Morris actually ran C.J. Greaves wide in the corner, and Greaves repaid the favor coming out of the front stretch.
So 16 laps. We have an 18-lap race. It is down to the end. Look at Matag. He has Brooks on the outside. Look at the drive of Brooks. Look at the 77. He's got to get it done quick.
That was a blocking move right there.
Not this time. No, he goes to the inside. Brooks takes over the lead. Listen to the crowd cheering. Brooks now set up on the inside. What does Matag have? Only about a lap and a half left. Look, the white flag will come out next time.
The ruts are forming on the inside, and Lovell over-rotates. Here comes Greaves.
Greaves is in a podium position. Here they go, taking a white flag. Cheer them on as they come down the front straightaway. Jarrett Brooks.
Oh, and Lovell dynamites back to the inside on Greaves. Greaves will hang on to third, but the battle's up front.
Brooks almost a full second lead over Matag. Greaves has worked his way from last to third in about 7 laps. Lovell's in 4th. Morris in 5th, Luke Johnson 6th, Beauchamp in 7th.
Jarrett Brooks through the rhythm section, nice and clean. Double, double. As well as Matag. Here comes Greaves, double, triple through there. Matag made up a little bit of ground in that last infield section. Can he do it in the final corner? Brooks now up onto the final corner, down the front straightaway. Jarrett Brooks will win round number 4. Doug Matag 2nd. 3rd will be C.J. Greaves. 4th, Brad Lovell, and Sean Morris will finish in the top 5.
So our first repeat winner of the season in Pro Light goes to Jarrett Brooks, the winner from round 2 in Prim, Nevada, and a hard-fought battle. He was in it the whole time. I looked at him in 8th going like, we expect him to move up, don't expect him to stay there very long. And Jarrett Brooks starts in 6th, drops back, and then works his way back up to take the win. Some words from Doug Matag. They've been in that position before on the top of the podium.
Yeah, these are very, very, very young guys out there. And they're, like, again, I say it about C.J. Greaves all the time, that their experience of driving is beyond their age. But boy, oh boy, can they put on a heck of a show. Once again, the top 5, Jarrett Brooks, Doug Matag. You know what? We'll be back in just a moment for a fantastic, I know it's going to be a great podium interview. In the meantime, we'll be back in just a moment with a few words from our sponsors.
Ready. Drive.
And 90 degrees up on 2 wheels.
Fly. Dominate. Celebrate. MagnaFlow.
What is Monster? It's killing tires on the ultimate Gymkhana course. I'm Ken Block, and I am Monster.
Wow, welcome back, everybody. We're here at Charlotte Motor Speedway and the dirt track, and that was one whale of a round 4. Holy smokes. And I think we're going to have a few words trackside with some of the drivers, but in the meantime, Robbie, what'd you think of that one?
I thought that was good. Maybe Kelly can get an interview with our disgruntled driver that was down there. Keegan might have some words to say. Keep it safe. But we have our podium presentation first and foremost. That was our first race of 3, and what a good one. They're doing the track preparation, but before we get to our podium, as while they're working on the track, let's take a look back here at the Pro Light, our largest class of the night. The field kept whittling down. Cam Reimers, he was on the inside that front row. Jesse Johnson had the lead for a moment, but then CJ Greaves took the lead early in the second turn.
Yeah, it didn't take long, and he looked very, very strong, typical CJ fashion, and a lot of tussling going on. And for the first half, it was a very clean race. A lot of the trucks maintained their fenders, made out of fiberglass, but yet they were able to keep them on. Now the competition yell comes out, and this basically was where all 8G double toothpicks breaks out.
And this is where all heck broke loose. Look at the dive bombs to the inside, a 3 wide, heading into the hardest portion of the track, because you saw how just unsettled these trucks are in that double or triple sometimes section.
And that may have been where CJ Greaves popped that rear tire. He had to go into the hot pits, and that was a huge drive. Never seen that before in off-road racing, but this is what defined the race right here for Keegan Kincaid.
Well, he almost loops out there, and then he rolls over and over. Unfortunately, Sleegers, I'm sure he didn't mean to, but he landed right into the back of him as he was setting up that turn.
Yeah, when you got Whitey Burnell and Tom trying to hold you back, you know you got something going on. But right now, this is a shot of Jared Brooks, and great battle for the lead with Doug Matag.
And the first guy to win 2 Pro Light races this year, Jared Brooks. The kid's only 16 years old, ladies and gentlemen, and I believe let's go down to the podium with Kelly Snyder with our victory podium celebration.
Well, guys, this will be one interesting interview with CJ Greaves. CJ from the back of the pack to the hot pits into 3rd place on the last lap there. Talk about that final pass you made and ending up on the podium with that amazing race.
Yeah, you know, we had a strong truck and we got out to an early lead, and there was a bunch of restarts, and I opened the door, and Keegan and I and Doug got in there, and then Keegan came from the edge and started pinching everyone, and I checked up, and then they started landing on each other, and somehow I ended up with a flat out of all of that, and went in, we got lucky on a caution, went in, got it changed, came back out, took it lap by lap, and came back up here on the podium.
Well, I know it's all about points coming into the 2nd major race weekend, so anything that you're going to look forward to doing, or anything that you're going to have to try to do going into the rest of the season?
You know, we're shooting for top 5s every race. I mean, if we can keep it in the top 5, that should keep the points tight. But I mean, it'd be wrong for me to take all the credit for this race and everything that happened. My crew should get the record for the fastest tire change. I mean, the one guy came in and got yelled at, and we were out just when he was pulling out, and we changed a tire. But congrats to Jared and Doug. They ran a strong race. All my team, Monster, Toyota, Maxxis, Amsoil, Team Associated, all you fans for being out here. We love being here at Charlotte, and hopefully we can come back.
Give it up, guys. Congratulations to our 3rd place finisher, CJ Greaves. Okay, we're going to move on over. You want to help me up? Thank you. We're going to talk to Doug. Doug, we've seen the battle between you and your good friend off the track, Jared Brooks, 2 days in a row now. So talk about what it's like racing against one of your best friends.
Oh, it's awesome. I wouldn't want to be passed by anybody else. My dad kept saying he's behind me, 1 truck, 2 trucks, 3 trucks, and then back to 1 truck. And I went a little wide, and he took advantage, and it was an awesome race, super clean. We didn't touch each other the whole time, and that's he's definitely the only person I'd want to be passed by, and he did it so clean. It's good for the team that we're both up here, 1st and 2nd both days. We just switched spots today.
Well, let's talk about quickly that battle between you and Keegan Kincaid. That added a lot of excitement to today.
Yeah, CJ had a pretty big lead, and Keegan went for the pass and pushed him a little wide, so I snuck in there. We went through the moguls all side by side, and then Keegan, I think, was in front of me. I went inside of him, and somebody hit me from the back, and I totally cleaned him out. I didn't mean to do that at all. But I was on the brakes. It just got smashed into him. And then I think he landed on me back there. My tube got ripped out of my truck and stuff. But it was carnage, good for the fans, and it was a lot of fun for sure.
Well, guys, give it up. Doug Matag, 1st yesterday, 2nd today. Congratulations.
Thanks.
And we'll step up here to the top box. talk to the 16-year-old #1 champ today. Congratulations on a great run. I saw that you were kind of hesitant, kind of hanging back the first half of the race, trying to just make your way up there. Is that something that you planned on, and you kind of really turned it on there at the second half?
I don't know. I've been struggling this weekend on starts, and we qualified first both days, and the invert just kind of messed me up. They really watered the track today, and for some reason I wasn't too good in the water today, so I would make some moves, and then a caution would come out, so I'd have to get the spot back. But after I got around them, the track was starting to drought for me, and that's when the truck starts really getting good. You know, I was running the cushion in turn 1, and that's where I was just catching everyone. So it's so awesome, you know, me and Doug just battling up there, both teammates, and just I don't think we ever touched each other one time. So it's cool to be up here for the team, you know, 1-2, and I couldn't do it without my sponsors, Cooper Tire, Maximo, Fox, COD, my whole crew. You know, they always put the best effort in, so I'm super pumped to get 2 wins this year.
Congratulations on that, and we'll see you next race.
Thank you.
Well, guys, give it up for our Pro Life podium again one more time.
Well, I'll maintain the fact that our winner again tonight looks like he should be riding his 10-speed bike through the neighborhood and delivering papers instead of being one of the fastest pro light drivers in the country. And the average age of what's up there is not even 20.
Right.
So
Yeah,
very, very, very talented drivers out here in this field, without a doubt. And again, that young man right there
is only 16 years old.
Yeah. That young man right there is well beyond his years of experience.
What were you doing
talent.
when you were 16 years old?
I was delivering papers.
That's why you bring up the paper picture.
Yeah.
Well, the light's starting to come on here in Charlotte. For those of you watching around the world on the Motortrend channel on YouTube, welcome. Welcome everybody here in Charlotte that made out. Thousands of fans. A very family-friendly sport. We're seeing Matag and Brooks and Greaves, our podium finishers. Very family-friendly sport. Not only can you literally get really up close on the inside, with the drivers, but also during and after tonight's show, you can go meet the drivers themselves, see what their pit crew is doing throughout the night. If they have to, do some mechanical things to their trucks, you can see how they work on them. Right now, you're getting to see how the track is being prepared as they're getting ready for the Pro 2-wheel drive competition. Going to get started here just a little bit, but we've got a lot of fine sponsors. We want to remind everybody to go check them out on the Midway. Get some TORC, the Off-Road Championship merchandise. I need a sweatshirt. I'm going to go down there. I'm going to get me one. You see the freestyle cat. Nice work on the freestyle moves from the cat, but also, fans, Husqvarna, you had to sign up earlier if you were going to win a little piece of equipment or a big piece of equipment. Fans, Husqvarna has selected the winner of the 2014 Husqvarna Showdown at Charlotte Smart Switch Tractor Giveaway. Wow. Congratulations goes to Mark Gregory. You've been selected as the winner from our random drawing. Mark Gregory, please head on over to the Husqvarna display area marked by the blue Husqvarna tent across from the grandstands to claim your prize. You see it over there near Johnsonville. Again, Mark Gregory, congrats on winning the Husqvarna Smart Switch Tractor with the revolutionary electronic package, real-time feedback, and keyless starting and security. Husqvarna, the world's largest producer of outdoor power products. Mark Gregory, you are one lucky man. No, you do not get to take home the inflatable. That goes with us to Bark River, but you did win something that looks very much like that and much more practical in your front and backyard.
I still want to ride on that thing.
You can.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure a way to get out there. But here's the interesting part. CJ Greaves just basically worked his tail off from mid-pack, went to the back, then up to the front, and now he's on his way to the pits to strap into a 900 horsepower Pro 2-wheel drive. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, one of the wildest moments I've seen in a long time in short course off-road racing just took place in Pro Light involving Keegan Kincaid, and we've got him trackside right now to talk about what just took place in the prior race.
That's all that you wanted out of this race today, but unfortunately what you got was a show put on even when you had pulled off the track after something happened to the front of your truck. So can you tell us what happened and then the event that happened after that? Explain that.
Yeah, the first one where I did a wheelie over the big jump, I rode up on Doug Matag and it shut off midair on me, and I had to get out of the way, and finally got it fired back up, got back going, and working around the slower guys in the back, the ones that don't know how to drive very much, and I just unfortunate got taken out and going into the finish line turn here, and it just sucks that coming out here you expect everybody to race how you want to be raced, and for someone to do that, it's just disappointed for me, and you just have to come back to Bark River and get a win here.
Did you know what was happening when you were in the truck? It was such a shock to us. We weren't expecting to see something happen with somebody off to the side, but can you explain maybe what you thought happened or what was going on through your mind when you got hit?
I didn't know what happened. I know I passed those guys coming out of the rhythm section, out of the infield right-hander, and I knew I had them cleared, and all of a sudden I just felt it get hit, and it just punted me over and over, and I don't know how many times I rolled, but I'm fine, and that's a good thing, and I thank God for keeping me safe, and look, it's just racing, part of racing, but hopefully we can get this bad luck out of the way.
It's about points, right?
Yeah, I tried to be consistent, but it just hasn't been working out this year, so now I'm going to have to start going for some wins.
Well, Bark River is definitely a track that you've had a lot of success at, so congratulations on getting out of your truck safely, and good luck at the next race.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Back to you.
Right there, what you're seeing on the screen is a replay of what took place in Pro Light with Keegan Kincaid. Tough break for him, man. One of the wildest things we've seen in a long, long time. Was able to walk away, but man, it's one thing to actually win a championship, but trying to defend it's a whole nother story. And I think that's exactly what Keegan Kincaid is running. And if you look on the track right now, you can see Lindsay from Husqvarna is out there. Now taking the track is the number 55 Husqvarna tracked, the trophy cart. Husqvarna wants to remind everybody, stop by the product display area outside the main gate to see all the new and innovative outdoor power equipment, chainsaws, trimmers, blowers, lawnmowers, tractors, zero-turn mowers, and more in support of the Husqvarna Showdown here in Charlotte. Husqvarna is giving everyone in attendance, 18 and older, excluding Husqvarna employees and their families, a chance to win their new garden tractor featuring Smart Switch. Stop by and register today. Entries must be received by start of the Pro Light race on Saturday. Winner will be chosen on Saturday after the Pro 2 race. So once again, there's still time. And right there up on the screen, Lindsay's having a little bit too much fun, I think, right now in that little trophy cart. 15 horsepower, but still has a top speed of about 50, 55 miles an hour.
Let me in, and I'll show you just how fast that thing can go. We'll be back in just a moment with a special interview. We still have a lot more to go here. TORC, the Off-Road Championship from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Fire and EMS professionals often use gas-powered tools and depend on this equipment to start when needed. That's why they use VP small engine fuel, formulated with no ethanol to prevent fuel system damage and ensure easier starts. It's designed for both 2- and 4-cycle engines. Try VP small engine fuels for your gas-powered tools so they'll start when you need them. Order online at homedepot.com or visit your local dealer.
Well, there we have it, the skyline of gorgeous Charlotte, North Carolina. We're here at the Speedway and the dirt track, the Husqvarna Showdown, round 4 of the 2014 season. And we have a special guest up here, Bobby Runyon Jr. Not the best weekend, but you know what? There's something that's really cool about having you brand new to off-road racing, brand new truck for you. Used to pavement, you're used to karting, you're used to open wheel, you're used to late models. This is a whole nother thing for you.
It's totally different, man, and I just absolutely love this series, love this off-road truck racing. It's a blast. I just wish we could catch a break, man. We just keep having rough nights here. So I think if we catch a break, you'll see some of my stock car action come out here, and I'll show you guys how to do it every once in a while.
Yeah.
But right now right now I'm on a huge learning curve.
So, well, the thing.
One thing I was noticing is the right-hand turn. I saw Johnson that before you head into that right-hand turn, I saw a lot of front ends dipping down and wanted to stab that last kicker. What do you think is the most difficult portion of this course tonight so far?
Honestly, I think the most difficult part is actually getting into the infield, and you come out of here, coming over the last back straightaway.
The first sharp left-hand turn,
yeah, the first sharp left-hand turn and the last sharp left-hand turn here coming out of the deal. It's been blue grooving really easy and getting really slick going in. You got to really back up a lot sooner than you think. You think you can haul over those jumps there and this big one over here, but you'll see a lot of guys when I was standing in the infield here. They'll come over this rhythm section. It'll actually be on the brakes and then gassing through the jump and then back on the brakes again before they get on the other side, trying to slow the car down before they get in there, not sliding out of control.
I had a little chance to hang out with you and your guys the other night, and we talked quite a bit about you're brand new to the sport, but yet you're bringing so much to the table with promotions and special things you guys are doing with your race team. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we had you out here the other night at the GoPro race. We got GoPro involved, and we went out to the GoPro Motorplex and had a short little race, and I kicked your butt a couple times.
I'm so angry that I flew into it.
Couple times, and he didn't show up. I don't know why. I don't know why.
I was late coming into Dallas. I was so upset because that's one of the world-class karting facilities. I mean, one of the best in the world. And I would have loved to have put a world-class whooping on you.
Well, by default, we beat you because you didn't show up. So you folded. But I mean, it's really cool. We're trying to do a lot of extra stuff with the series because it is open to working with drivers like me, and we're new to the series, and this is something we want to be a part of. And I definitely want to grow with you guys. So
we'll talk about what you're doing right now, special with the servicemen.
Oh, Wishes for Warriors just come on board. They've been on board with us for now 2 races, and we had the whole truck dedicated to them this race, just trying to get troops out here to be involved with the racing and motorsports. Taking them on hunts and stuff. We just took a guy out a couple days ago, and they got himself a hog. A guy lost both his legs on an IED. It's just nice to get them back active again. You know, they're always active guys before they go in the military. When they come back, they just want to do something again. And that's the hardest thing, is they usually can't. So we try and help them out. You know, get the guy that can't have legs to go do something. They can walk again, run. You know, whatever it takes to make them.
Well, there's something else that this guy likes to do, race fans, and he likes to personally thank all the fans for coming down here. He did it the last round of racing, and when he comes out of the booth, he'll go down to the stands and he'll sign autographs or shake the hands of the fans and thank them for coming here. Once again, Bobby, thank you so much for coming up here and being a part of this. Thanks for coming in and giving off-road a chance, maybe further your career in racing. Can't wait to see you work your way up to that podium spot, and especially thank you for thanking the fans the way you do.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'll be down here thanking all you guys, and I hope you can help me out a little bit because it was leg day yesterday, and there's a lot of steps. So I need some help. Maybe I'll get some.
Bodybuilding.com is your sponsor. Your legs are supposed to be sore.
That's part of the deal. So, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You got it, man. Thank you for coming up here, and better luck at Bark River in 1 month.
1 month. We got a while to fix the truck, so we'll see you in Bark River.
Once again, that's
Bobby.
I'm not going to say the winner at the go-kart track from the other night, but Bobby Runyon Jr., thank you so much for coming up here. Race fans will be coming down here into the grandstands in just a moment to shake hands and thank you guys and signing autographs. Bobby Runyon Jr. running in a pro light. Thank you so much for coming up here once again. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you listen off to your left, that is the most beautiful sound in all of motorsports. 900 horsepower, 2-wheel drive warming up. I hope you're ready because this is going to get wild.
So when I thought the right might have been the most difficult, Bobby thought the 2 sharp lefts may be the most difficult, but he attributed that to a little bit of blue grooving. You see the squiggle marks, and the cameras will pan over there in just a minute. You see the squiggle marks in both of those sharp left-hand turns, trying to rip up the dirt just a little bit. They can't get the discs out there and tear it up quite like they, could with an extended time, but they do try and do the best that they can.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here they come. 2-wheel drive, 900 horsepower. 18 inches of travel in the front, 20 in the rear. And it's all about the badass sounding 900 horsepower, no doubt about it. The aggressiveness level has been amped up by 2.
You gotta call it bad donkey.
Okay. Not me, man. I'm gonna be straight up black and white. It's all about being just bad. As they come out on the track, the first truck coming out is the number 2 out of Temecula, California. Brand new sponsor. The Cat people are here in the stands. The number 2 of Steve Barlow, the black and white Cat entry.
Next to him, the 91 out of San Diego, California, Maxxis, Tyree Motorsports, Diffenbach Construction, Ford. That's Nick Tyree.
The next truck to come out on the track actually should be the Cooper Tire number 76 out of southern Wisconsin. That is Andy Zipperer.
Fourth, he was last night's podium finisher, the 25 out of Scottsdale, Arizona, former Indy Lights winner on the Cooper Tires Gunk Genius Tools Ford, Ari Leindyke Jr. Yes, ladies, the one from The Bachelorette.
Starting in that fifth spot out of Felch, Michigan, far northern Michigan. Running in that Maxxis Tire Nissan Boss Snowplow Amsoil entry number 9, Chad Horde.
We just saw this kid come off the victory podium in third in the Pro Lights. Now he's going to try and do it in the Pro 2. He starts 6th out of Abrams, Wisconsin on the Maxxis Monster Toyota from Abrams, Wisconsin, CJ Greaves.
Our next driver was on the podium last night in Pro 4. He comes out of Plano, Texas, the president CEO. Behind the wheel of the Ram, the Cooper Tire Traxxas entry, 47 of Mike Jenkins.
His teammate on the Cooper Traxxas, Cooper Tires Ford out of Wisconsin, the number 4 of Jeff Kincaid.
From right here in Charlotte, North Carolina, the younger brother of Jimmy, it's the 74 Husqvarna entry of Jared Johnson. On your feet, Charlotte, we're going green!
Good start by Barlow, but watch, that outside line was quicker earlier. Tyree trying to get that drive. Will he get by? No, they ripped up that track, and there was quite a bit of traction on that midline.
That midline is why I got CJ Greaves was in the 5th spot, moved into 3rd spot, now in the 2nd.
Golly. And Ari Leindyke looks like he's going to make some passes on the outside.
Oh, man, we got a parking lot right now. It was Jeff Kincaid, Mike Jenkins, and Jared Johnson now in the back of the pack. Up front, it's Barlow, Greaves, Tyree, Chad Horde, and in the top 5, it is Ari Leindyke.
Yeah, I was looking at Ari going way on the outside. When you bunch up and you get locked together. Oh, bobble there. Was that Tyree that was having the problems there? Tyree in 4th, spun around, drops back into 5th now. Leindyke up into 4th. Here's CJ Greaves on the inside, trying to get past Barlow.
Greaves got a great run on turn 2 in the oval, dives way to the inside. Barlow on the outside, going to try to keep that momentum up. Greaves running him clean. Barlow running Greaves clean. Slight tap going to that right-hand turn.
Bump and run. Maybe a little bump coming into the turn. Give each other both room going out of that turn. Heading into the next left-hand turn, the last turn. This will be lap number 2. CJ Greaves is in the lead after 2 laps. This is a kid who started in 6th place inside or outside of row 3.
Barlow right now falls back to 2nd. Chad Horde starting to work his way forward. Gaining on our leaders, running at 3rd spot. Leindyke now up into 4th. Kincaid now in top 5.
So pick your poison, trying to find, where the races are. There's races throughout this field. That 1st and 2nd spot separated by 0.4 of a second the last time around. Chad Horde definitely closing in on those front 2 and 3rd.
What a great run right now by Steve Barlow. Wasn't a factor last night in the second half of the race, but right now running in 2nd out of Temecula, California. Brand new, his first night running those Cat colors. And we've got Caterpillar executives right here tonight. So, man, great run for Steve Barlow out of Southern California.
Barlow with the pressure. I think Chad Horde wants a little piece of him on this back straightaway. Watch how he sets up. Horde in the 9 in 3rd. He's taking the same line. It's a little bit of follow the leader that time. I think both these guys trying to search for the fast line.
Well, keep in mind, every driver on that racetrack is in communication with their spotter, and they're telling them exactly what's going on. So right now, they may be telling Chad to be calm, take it easy. If the hole opens up, go ahead and take it, but don't be overly aggressive in the first half of this race. Just remain patient. And right now, that's exactly what Chad Horde is, but he's gaining on Barlow right now. Barlow running a great race, running in 2nd, but right now CJ Greaves is also slowly pulling away.
What is all lit up on the back of CJ? Does he have some type of light in there? I keep seeing something orange up high.
That's actually a light system that, in case of a dusty condition,
you can see the
truck in front of you. Yeah, it helps you out.
But everybody doesn't use that?
It should be. I believe it's on every truck, or should be in every truck. But right now,
that's more prevalent.
Yeah, you can see Barlow has it lower, Chad Horde has it a little bit higher. That's what that is. In dusty conditions or muddy conditions, they can see that amber light through that dust.
That was it. Barlow's is down there where a bumper would be, and everybody else has it where that third light. Oh, Horde way high. In third place, just behind Steve Barlow. This is the Pro two-wheel drive, our second race of 3 tonight.
Chad Horde slides to the outside a little bit, took a peek on the outside. But Barlow again goes way to the outside. Scrubs off speed, but then gets shot out of a corner, pulls away from Horde.
Remember in Pro 2, Chad Horde won the first race of the year. The last 2 races have been won by C.J. Greaves. Greaves out in front leading this one right now. Horde back in third.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but our second place trucks, second and third, catching our leader. It looked like it was a runaway about 2 laps ago by Greaves, but it looks like second and third may be gaining on our leader right now.
Well, Horde keeps closing in on Barlow for a second, but not able to make a pass. He's diving high to the inside this time.
And look how far into the corner Barlow goes. Way to the outside. Now he gets shot out of the corner and again pulls away from Horde.
He's searching. You know, his spotter's up on top of this box probably saying, you got to find something.
That is a scary line, but man, is it working.
You're never going to pass anybody taking the same line, and it looks like a race back in 4th spot behind these two going at it.
Looks like Jeff Kincaid's gotten around Ari Lyondike Jr., so Kincaid now up to that 4th spot.
Watch Barlow on the screen. Look, it's Horde. Horde's in his tracks. He might be a tad bit higher, but I mean, he is all up in his business. Now it's decision.
Whoa!
Now it's inside time. Watch this.
That was a setup. Could this be the slide job we've been waiting for? And it is. But here comes Barlow back to the inside. Barlow with a ton of speed coming through, but Chad Horde not about to give him an inch.
Yeah, they both had a really good drive out of that sharp left. Now in the right, Horde takes over second. Again, just a few laps before that competition yellow. C.J. Greaves now in front of Chad Horde. Steve Barlow drops back to third. 4th spot will be Jeff Kincaid, followed by Ari Lyondike Jr.
And Chad Horde just ran the fastest lap of the race with a 42.8.
His last lap was 42.8.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. CJ ran a 43.5.
So did he gain that speed by diving so hard and then taking that inside line, you think? Was that the difference?
Well, what I did notice is that you go through 1 and 2 of the oval. Chad Horde's not quite as sideways going through the corner. He's more driving the corner where it looks like the rest of the guys are pitched sideways, more sprint cars.
Is that kind of a rut in that right-hand turn?
Oh, yeah,
so,
absolutely, yeah.
And CJ went 100% smack dab in the middle of it that last time.
And there's the competition yellow. So across the line with the lead will be the Monster Energy Toyota of C.J. Greaves, the Boss Snowplow Amsoil entry of Chad Horde, the Cat entry of Barlow in third. 4th is Kincaid. 5th. How about that? Ari Lyondike running the top 5 once again.
In case you're wondering, for you IndyCar fans, or if you're an IndyCar fan, you know, but Ari Lyondike, it is not Ari Lyondike the father. It is this is Ari Lyondike Jr., the son. He has raced in Indy several times, in fact.
Yeah, he's a lot taller than his dad, too.
His dad's pretty good size.
His dad's my height.
Really?
Yeah,
I see his dad many times. But
he's a little guy like me.
I guess I see him in the car, and I don't notice it that much. Both of them Dutch, I believe.
Yeah.
Dual citizenship.
I used to hang with him once in a while back in the day when he was driving for Provimi Veal.
You know, I respect that. We have a third member of our broadcast team here, Kelly Snyder. Kelly, you got some 411 for us?
Well, guys, just a quick update on the track so far and some details about the drivers. Steve Barlow is back at the series. We love to see him out there driving, but Steve's not only a racer. Barlow Motorsports preps the Pro 4 trucks, Adrian Cheney and Mark Kwame. So for that Pro 4 race, those 2 trucks are the ones that he preps going into that race. But right now, he's showing his skill as a driver out here on the track, trying to hold off Chad Horde, which last night finished 1-2 behind C.J. Greaves. So, guys, it's that 1-2 order again with C.J. and Chad. Those guys are the ones to beat here in this Pro 2 class. But watch out, Steve Barlow's back in TORC, and he's back in this race, guys.
Back in TORC, and It's so nice to see him running up front again. It's been a while. He's been in Pro 2, in Pro 4, back to Pro 2. Kind of bounced around from truck to truck to truck. And,
you know why? Because he's a professional.
Yeah. In fact, I got something for you. He was the first Red Bull-sponsored competitor, or I should say athlete, to ever win a championship.
Really?
In anything. Years and years ago, yeah.
He's from Austria? You mean the U.S.?
Well, okay, U.S.
Yeah, I just had to.
Damn,
really?
Dude, really?
You had me going. I'm like, man, that is good.
So once again, it's C.J. Greaves running up front. Chad Horde, a replay of what we saw last night. Chad Horde threw everything out the window last night, trying to reel in C.J. Greaves. Didn't quite have enough. We'll see what he's got now.
His best lap was the lap right before the competition yellow last night. Now maybe it can be the second half where he turns it on. Maybe this was all in the master plan. We're soon to find out. The pace truck pulls off. You see those orange cones, those are the acceleration zone, and they have to stay single file until they hit that jump. And I believe it's the jump straight ahead of us right there over the flagging stand.
Right to flag tower, yeah.
Oh, listen to that Toyota just whine. I love that sound.
Nice clean start from all of our competitors going through turn 1 and 2. C.J. Greaves a little bit lower line than Chad Horde. Horde nearly up against the wall.
Barlow back in third. Looks like he might have some pressure as well.
Man, Barlow just throws that cat truck sideways to the corner.
Which way you going?
Wow. We got to keep an eye on right now Jeff Kincaid and Barlow, because I think that may be the race to watch.
There they are, the 2 of Barlow, the 4 of Kincaid. Tracks his colors, doubling up there nicely, but look out front, trying to get a good drive, and he's going to be in the back pocket again of C.J. Greaves. Chad Horde is running strong.
Robbie, I got a question for you right now.
What's that?
Last night during the interview, they talked about how clean they raced each other. Both drivers said they respect each other, will race each other clean. Tonight, will they do the same thing? Will Chad Horde put a fender on C.J. Greaves in an attempt to get around?
It won't be an intentional, but yes, he will put a fender on him. There will be contact before this race is over. I like the momentum. You're seeing Horde trying to take a little bit wider lines, not trying to get in the same tracks to see. Oh, Horde over-rotates a little bit. He's going to lose a lot of ground. Look at that race for third in the background.
Kincaid got around Steve Barlow on that backstretch. Barlow tried to come right back. Now he's going to duck to the inside. Kincaid goes up against the wall. Barlow tries going inside. Barlow will still fall back to fourth. Kincaid now running in third. And how about the run by Jarrett Johnson down the top 5?
Yeah, where did he come from? He comes back up inside the top 5. Just behind him is Andy Zipper, Ari Leindyke in 7th, Tyree, and Mike Jenkins rounding out the field.
Chad Horde just a little bit quicker through that rhythm section, made up a little bit of ground on C.J. Greaves. It almost seems like the horsepower that's in that Toyota is a little quicker on the wide open outside areas of the oval. Chad Horde's quicker through the technical areas of the infield, and he slightly glances off a turn 4 wall coming out of the oval. But this is where we see once again, through turn 1 and 2 of the oval, C.J. Greaves slowly pulls away again.
And Horde, that last lap was about 0.2 quicker than C.J. Greaves, and those guys are a good, half a second or more faster than the rest of the field.
Now they are running on project tires. These are not DOT tires. They're 17-inch. They're basically 12.5, 17 by 35, 35-inch tires. But they're project tires. There's an inner liner inside these tires, just like NASCAR. But what the engineers will do, they'll take these tires back to the factory, analyze them, maybe try to improve on a production tire, and that improvement you'll see in a production tire about 6 months down the road on the store shelf. But right now, man, oh man, whatever C.J. Greaves has got going, it is working.
He found 0.4 of a second quicker than Chad Horde that last time. So you're talking about a inner liner tire. So we know they go flat. So what does that inner liner do?
Basically, it tries to help that. You can run like a 50-pound air pressure inside the inner liner and like 15 pounds on the outside tire.
Spread it out a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. But if the tire goes, when the tire goes flat, it's supposed to help the sidewall to keep from shredding. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. coming across the line, CJ Greaves with a 43.46, and Chad Horde losing ground with a 44.02. So once again, CJ Greaves about 0.6 of a second quicker.
And second, third, or fourth, all those guys running in the 44.0 range. So
Yeah.
CJ's found another gear, it looks like, in the back half of this main event tonight in the Pro 2-wheel drive. You see the black monster-colored Toyota. A lot of flame being shot out by that truck off and on the throttle. Love these night races. You get to see that, the flash.
Yeah, CJ Greaves is the only driver right now that breaks that 44-second mark running in the 43s. So we'll see if it's actually getting faster for him. A little bit slower lap time. Oh, and Chad Horde ran a 1/10 of a second quicker in that lap. So Horde now is back into the 43-second mark.
CJ Greaves trying to make up ground from the Prim race that first day where he broke a spindle, had to get a DNF or a very poor finish in comparison to where he would have. He's been playing catch up ever since then. He's a 13-point deficit behind Chad Horde in the championship early on in this season, but he's playing catch up, and right now this is a 3-point differential. You get 3 more points from first than you would in second.
And I'm watching, watch the line the guys take through turn 1 and 2 of the oval. Way, way up against the wall last time by. We'll see if that's actually what they're going to do this time. CJ goes down a little bit, slides up to the wall. Yeah, just barely off the wall. Chad Horde as well. Jeff Kincaid follows that wall all the way around the outside.
Marlowe tries squaring it up a little bit in the 2, back in 4th position.
I know Barlow's got some guys here from Roushier's Performance, built some motors for him, so that's kind of cool to see him doing pretty good right now, running that 4th spot, and right now battling for 3rd. So Barlow looks like he's may have found another gear right now.
White flag is out. This is the last lap for these guys. CJ Greaves trying to win once again for 2014. He's out in front, a considerable advantage. That's 2.17 advantage over second place Chad Horde. Jeff Kincaid in 3rd.
Kincaid right now about 8-9 car lengths out in front of Steve Barlow. Was much closer last lap, but again they bunch back up through the end. Oh man, a bobble by Kincaid, bounced off the wall in turn 3, and now bobbled by Barlow. Barlow over rotates, coming to the corner. So an advantage that he gained on Kincaid's mistake, he lost by doing it himself. Once again, here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. Young CJ Greaves does it again. His 3rd Pro 2 win of the season across the line. 2nd, Chad Horde, our points leader, and Kincaid will hang on for 3rd.
Still racing going on. This is the race, it looks like, for 6th place. Ari Leindock on the outside. Oh, jabbing it hard. Watch Ari try and square it up. He's looking for traction. He's not going to get enough of it. It looks like the 76 of Andy Zipper is going to finish 6th. Ari Leindock in 7th. Tyree in 8th. Mike Jenkins, after 8 laps, had to retire. He's going to finish unofficially in 9th.
I still have to call out Steve Barlow having a great run tonight with the Cat people here in town. So Barlow, nice to see him running up front. Made a few mistakes here and there, fall back to 4th, but battled in the last couple laps for that last podium spot with Jeff Kincaid. But man, on the screen right there,
untouchable.
The kid.
Yeah, he's untouchable this year. You mentioned it, 3 wins already this year in 4 races. The one he didn't win, it was a DNF.
Yeah, broken part, had nothing.
All right, we'll get to hear from our top 3 here in just a moment. That's race number 2 of 3. You'll get to see these guys pull up front in the stands here. Thanks for watching online around the world on Motortrend channel on YouTube. For Scott Renner, I'm Robbie Floyd, Kelly Snyder. We'll hear from Kelly Snyder in just a moment with the victory podium in just a moment.
When you take that checkered flag and you're standing top on the box, you're proud to have AMSO on your shirt. But I tell you what, when you take that motor apart in the dyno room and you look at those bearings and you see how great they are, you're really proud to be an AMSO driver and to be representing a team that has product that's that good.
Well, once again, welcome back, everybody, and what a sight here at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's round 4 of the Husqvarna Showdown at the dirt track, and man, tonight's action has been amped up just a little bit since last night, Robbie.
Yeah, no, it's everything 100% what we thought it would be. It's everything. What it is, what was that football coach that said that? They are who we think they are, or thought they were. You know, I mean, that's it. I mean, we expected tight racing. We've seen the tight racing. We expected contact. We've got our contact. And let's take a look at the Pro 2-Wheel Drive division and the little recap of the start.
Steve Barlow on the front row gets a great start with Nick Tyree and held the lead for quite a while. And there's the parking lot on the first lap. Tough break for Jarrett Johnson, is dead last in the field.
Mike Jenkins might have had some mechanical then because he pulled out just a few laps later.
And CJ Greaves takes the lead. Here's the battle now for second. Barlow trying to hang on. All race long, he goes way to the outside. And there's that perfect slide job by Horde, but here comes Barlow once again on the outside. Rubbing tires, and Chad Horde hung on for the position, moved into second. Barlow maintained third, but here comes Jeff Kincaid.
Well, and there goes on the inside, Ari Leindyke Jr. with a pirouette, one of his best dance moves of the night. That cost him a chance at a podium, which he got last night. He worked his way up to, I think, 6th or 7th it was at the end of the night.
And here's Chad Horde's little bobble. Probably cost him quite a bit, but he never could reel in the kid. We call that Johnny Greaves 401k right there.
Right.
CJ just does it again, pulls away, takes the lead and the win. And just a replay exactly of what we saw last night between Chad Horde and CJ Greaves. Both drivers ran each other very, very, very clean.
And CJ, a 3-time winner here in the Pro 2-Wheel Drive division. He's also won in the Pro Light. We'll see what his dad has in store here in just a moment. You see how close you can get to the racing action on the track, but also how close you can get to the drivers down at the victory podium. I see Kelly Snyder. We'll get some words with her in just a moment. But look how close these fans can get to those trucks and really get to see them up close.
And the thing, well, it looks like Kelly Snyder's down at the podium with our top 3 finishers. Kelly, have some fun with this one.
Well, Scott, I know this is your favorite job to interview these guys, but I'm going to have to steal it from you for tonight, okay? But, Jeff, let's talk to you first. You've had a pretty tough season so far this year, so let's just talk about how excited you are to be up here. 3rd place, what a tough battle that was out there.
Yeah, we sure did have a slow start this year. This little parts got us. Last night a little bolt broke on our steering and put us out. But just glad to be up here on the podium. Can't say enough for Traxxas for putting me up here. What a great group of guys to work for. And Cooper Tires, you know, we started new with them this year, and we're already coming forward with them. So we're pretty happy, you know. Can't say enough for my team and wife and my boy. And, you know, we had a little struggle starting this year, but don't look for us to be back there very long. We're coming forward.
Well, guys, you heard it from him. He's ready to make his move at Bark River. That's our next race. I know a lot of the drivers really like that track, and they say it's a real driver's track. What do you think about Bark River?
Oh, yeah, Bark River, Crandon, that's kind of my hometown area, and that's where I was born, and I got probably the most laps of anybody there, so it'd be good to go back home and try to get back on top.
Well, congratulations. Let's give it up for our 3rd place finisher, Jeff Kincaid. We'll move on up to second. Chad, what a race that's been. 1-2 again tonight for you and CJ. This guy seems to be the one that you're going to have to really work the hardest to beat this year.
Yeah, he's got a good season going. There's a lot of tough guys in this class, but you know, tonight the track started getting rough. We had to start in the 3rd row. It took me a little time to get up by CJ. I wanted to make sure I did it by the caution, but just awesome to be up here again for Boss Snowplow, Amsoil, and Maxxis Tires, and Fox Racing Shocks, and I just got to thank my crew and family and everybody that makes this possible, and just all you fans for coming out tonight. We haven't been here in a couple of years. We're back. It's great to see this many people, and we keep coming back. Let's get this crowd bigger.
Well, guys, he wants to see you out here. Who would come back next year? Let's hear it. Woo! We'll give it up for the 2nd place finisher of Chad Horde. Congratulations. And we'll step up to the guy 2 nights in a row. 3 first-place finishes, I think, already this season. CJ, let's talk about your success that you've had here, especially on these short tracks, these really tight technical tracks. Why do you think that you do so well at these tracks?
Yeah, I can't really tell you, but my crew did a great job, and they got that truck just hooked up, and Donnie and Ernie here from Toyota, those guys worked their butts off to get me a great engines, and they sure did, and I think Charlotte's just my place. First race here ever in a Pro 2, won, and double down this weekend. I couldn't ask for more.
Well, guys, he has a lot of luck here. Congratulations on your 2 wins this weekend, and you have something else to say.
Yeah, I can't thank my family, all my crew, sponsors, Monster, Toyota Maxxis, Method Wheels, Forest County Potawatomi, Team Associated, Mastercraft, everyone that helps us out. Thanks a lot.
And some of you may not know that you actually spot for your dad who's coming up in the next race, right?
Yep, that's correct. He spots for me and I spot for him.
Well, guys, it's a family affair here at the TORC Series, so let's give it up for our top 3 Pro 2 finishers, Jeff Kincaid, Chad Horde, and back on the top of the box, CJ Greaves.
Taste some of that sparkling cider there. Nothing like spraying some apple juice towards people or something.
Don't ask me where I got the nickname from CJ. He calls me Platinum Elvis, but after I'm seeing in the podium from him with his hair kind of jutting out from the side, I think I might start calling him Spicoli.
Oh, you think so?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like that. Hey, he keeps winning. You can call him whatever you want.
But yeah, you can't ask for 3 better drivers on that podium. And again, 3 of the most respected drivers, most accomplished. Jeff Kincaid was the first driver actually it was Scott Taylor, but Jeff Kincaid in a Pro 2-wheel drive truck has won a combined race when it's with going up against 4-wheel drive trucks as well. So, and so is Chad Horde. So these are probably the 3 best drivers in Pro 2. So, in fact, we had a great racing action last night, probably historic racing action last night, leading into tonight's race action. Let's take a quick look at, I'm sorry, you know what? Before we go back into the last race of the night, let's take a quick moment and take a break. We'll be right back right after this.
When adventure calls, count on the Trail Grappler to get you to your destination, wherever that may be. Large, innovative tread blocks provide additional biting edges to help you command the most challenging terrains as you discover new trails. The Trail Grappler's 3-ply sidewall and thick rubber construction aids puncture resistance and provides durability when you need it most. Nitto Trail Grappler, where road meets trail.
Husqvarna's latest innovation is based on a simple fact. The earth is not flat. Its hills, valleys, and uneven terrain inspired Husqvarna to create a line of all-wheel drive mowers that help make easy work of any mowing challenge. The earth isn't flat, but with a Husqvarna all-wheel drive mower, it sure could feel that way. Find the all-wheel drive mower at your local Husqvarna dealer and Lowe's.
Well, once again, welcome back here to the dirt track here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's round 4 of the 2014 season, and it's the Husqvarna shootout here at Charlotte. And I think Husqvarna's having a great time here this weekend. They've been showing off some pretty cool equipment back at the display area. And
one lucky fan had a good time because he won a piece of equipment here from Husqvarna.
Yeah, I hope he brought his truck because he's going to need it to haul home tonight.
So 2 races in the books, no surprises. We saw a tight competition the entire time. Now the only thing that remains are the Pro 4s. And in case you've never seen Pro 4s, a different sound, a different grip level. Because they're grabbing with all 4, all 4 wheels. I guess the same sound you'd hear, that whine of Johnny Greaves compared to CJ Greaves you just saw in the 2. But they have twice as many tires trying to rip up the dirt.
So it looks like at trackside we got the guys out here from Traxxas. It looks like we got
the
Billy
girls.
out. Yeah. Now I'm looking at the cars and the guys, and you're looking at what cars? Right? Look at that! And holy smokes!
And it drives away. I'm telling you, I went over there. I was trying to find Taylor and Kelly because I'm going to buy one before the nice girls don't let me. Oh, they're actually over there on the sidelines. Don't let me leave here without getting a Traxxas RC car. Even though I like the copters, I definitely want to get one for the Knights. I do not know how they survive the landing and then they just take off like nobody's business. All right, what do you got, ladies? You're the experts. You know exactly what's going on. How do these things survive those hard hits?
You know, Rob, I ask that question all the time, and you talked about making sure you don't leave here tonight with that one. But I was just talking to Taylor, their spokesmodel, and she told me everyone can go home with a Traxxas truck here today. So, Taylor, tell us a little bit about what's going on behind us and what these cars are actually called and what they're doing out here.
That's right. We are Traxxas, the fastest name in radio control, and we're out here to put on a great show for you fans. What we have going right here is the E-Revo. This is our brushless system. This will actually go 70 miles an hour, and as you can see, it's got a lot of height to it when you're jumping it. But of course, if you're not into something that fast, maybe you're younger, want to get your kid into it, we do have starter cars, and of course, all of our cars have training mode, which means that you can cut the power in half, get the feel for the car, then push that speed back up. So but we really have something for everyone, whether you're any terrain, any age. So we've got, you know, our monster trucks, our short course trucks, just like what you're seeing out here today. We even have marine, we've got boats, and of course our brand new quadcopter. So really any terrain, any age.
Well, when I learned how to drive a Traxxas truck, I definitely had it in training mode as well, so I could get it figured out before wrecking it. But you know, these things, they never seem to break. I swear, I'll roll it, I'll flip it, I'll hit a wall, and it's still going. How are they able to do that? And if I do, for some reason, break it, what do fans do?
Well, of course, Traxxas is extremely durable. If you do happen to maybe crash it into a sidewalk or have a little bit of an accident, it's no big deal. All of these cars are fully replaceable. Just go to your local hobby shop, pick up the part. It'll be between $2 to $12. Fix it up, just like these cars out here, and you're ready to go again.
Well, Taylor, quickly tell us where can we buy these things and about what's the price range that these things start at?
Well, of course, you can purchase them here. We're just in the Midway. You stop by the Traxxas zone. It's a big semi. You'll see us. You can take one home tonight to play with. If you can't get one tonight, make sure you go to our website at traxxas.com. That's TRAXXAS.com, and they'll start at about $200 and work their way up.
Well, guys, that's great to hear. We have great sponsors here from Traxxas. Make sure to follow them on social media as well. They post great racing pictures here of the TORC series, as well as everything else that Traxxas is involved in. So Traxxas Racing and at Traxxas. Thank you so much, Taylor. And I know the crowd is definitely enjoying the show.
Well, make sure they cheer loud. If you guys want to see them do some more jumps, you got to make sure they hear you. So let's hear it, guys.
Well, Scott and Robbie, back to you guys.
Well, thanks a lot, Snyder sisters. That's kind of cool to see the girls down there together.
And she told me right off the bat that I need to put it in training mode.
Oh, that's got to hurt. No, but you're all about the social media, man. You do all kinds of stuff with the Twitter and the Facebook stuff.
Let's see, with the Twitter and the Facebook. I like that. That just sounds funny when it comes. Oh, it almost looked like Traxxas girl dive bombing right there. You know, let's take a look at some of these pictures. You know, we already saw. Oh, hey, there's some of the Traxxas girls. You're right. I am very into the the Twitter, as they call it, and the Instagram. Lovely ladies from both
Cooper Tire,
Cooper Tires on the right. The Cooper Tire girls holding monsters, and the Traxxas girls over there. You can get their autographs after the show tonight. More than happy. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there's a young man that's really happy.
The money team.
He's got one of your smiles going right now.
Yeah, play on, playa. Look at him. Where is he at?
Take your pictures right now. Actually, it looks like right along that Try-Me track back in the manufacturer's midway. But hashtag TORC with all your pictures to Twitter or Instagram. There he is. Yes. On the right side, Ari Lyondike Jr. of the Bachelor.
Jarrett on the left.
Jared Brooks on the left. The
winner.
The paper boy.
Yep, the winner of the Pro Lights.
And there's some fans. How about that? Yeah.
Oh, man, he had a window to the world there a couple of months ago, didn't he? He had like 4 missing front teeth. They're all growing in at the same time, the little man on the right-hand side.
But you know what? Right now, take pictures of what's going on, your family members, your friends, your buddies, whatever's hanging out here on the racetrack, and hashtag TORC on Instagram or Twitter, whatever it may be. And oh, finally, we've got a guy out here that's going to have some fun.
Todd Colson, you get to ride along, buckle up and enjoy the ride after the race. Is that right? Did they do it after the race?
I believe that at this point they'll be doing it right after the Pro 4 race. So he'll be getting a ride in a Pro 2 two-seater right after Pro 4 at the end of the night.
So Todd Colson, you won the ride around with, I don't know, unspecified driver.
There's some fans right there. Once again, hey, one of those guys got to have a smartphone. One of them. Take pictures of you guys right now.
The little guy probably has.
He's pointing at his brother. Take pictures right now and hashtag TORC, buddy. Put it on our Facebook page. Put it on Twitter.
You can do the MagnaFlow thing if you have like a MagnaFlow signage or whatever in there
wow,
somewhere.
What
you might
a great
win some
crowd.
free
How
stuff.
about that? You know what? I got to call out the fans right now because you know what? Thank you so much for coming out this weekend. It's because of you guys, the race fans, that possibly that we could come back next year if you want to see more race action like this with more trucks, more action. Let your friends know. Let your buddies know. Let your coworkers, family members, whatever. Let them know how cool it was here. And then we're also going to announce when this show will be aired on NBC Sports Network. And come back next year because I have a funny feeling after tonight's racing action, we will be doing it. Well, it's unofficial. You know what? Before the next race comes out, the last race of the weekend, we're going to take a quick break and be right back right after this.
We build tires, but not tires like anybody else. We build Cooper tires for people, not just cars. People who are chauffeurs and shuttle pilots, heavy haulers and heavy hitters. More than what your Cooper tires can do, it's about what you can do with your Cooper tires. Life's a road trip. Come on, let's go.
Welcome back, everybody, for the final race of the weekend. You hear that beautiful sound of 900 horsepower to our left, warming up and staging. It's the bad boys of off-road racing, short course style. Four-wheel drive, 18 inches travel in the front, 20 in the rear. We are talking about 900 horsepower. This is basically, you got a big wallet, you want to spend money, you want to go off-road racing, this is a class you want to do it in. These are the bad boys.
And Johnny Greaves took the victory last night. It was a hard-earned victory. You saw the mayhem that we had in that little sizzle reel before, or if you were here early on in our show, we showed you how it went down last night. It was a crazy, one of the craziest races you could have imagined in Pro 4. We expect more of the same tonight. You talked, Scott, personally with the drivers, and they said that they were taking it a little too easy last night. I don't expect easy to come out tonight.
Oh, absolutely not. We're going to see if maybe we could throw up the replay of what we saw last night or recap some fantastic rake action. And in fact, here it is. We've got Mark Jenkins on the outside throwing it real wide. Here comes Johnny Greaves the inside, and those two battled almost the entire race, lap after lap after lap. Scott Douglas once in a while had a puff of smoke. We were kind of concerned, but nothing happened there.
Adrian Cheney, not really his best race, and this was a race winner earlier. He started back in fourth, couldn't do it any better than that. So Johnny Greaves starts out in front, but as you mentioned a moment ago, the 25, Mark Jenkins, he did not back down. Matter of fact, he made it known that he was here and here to stay.
Yeah, love tap one, lap top two. Just enough to try to upset that suspension, enough to tuck the inside of Greaves. Greaves had nothing about it, and Greaves got a little squirrely, but somehow that TRD motor kept that truck running up front. And look at the damage to the back of Greaves' truck from constant pressure. And here what took place last night. The right front tire goes in the cockpit of Johnny Greaves. They both continue on, another angle of that, and they continue on and battle some more. Another shot of that, and again, how about that? Both drivers keep on going.
It's amazing that not one, but both of them didn't roll in that situation. Johnny Greaves came out on top, takes a win in Pro 4 at night number 1. What can he do for night number 2? If it's anything close to the excitement we had last night, we're in for a good one tonight.
Oh, without a doubt. There you see Scott Douglas. He's all warmed up. Some of the race fans right there in the fence. And, yeah, this is a manufacturer battle. There are tire battles going on. These boys are keeping score. And you know what the guys love about driving these trucks, you go into a corner, you turn the wheels, you stomp that throttle, and it just takes off and goes where you want to go.
Hey, you know, I've been told, and I like doing this, I come from Supercross, I get to see it. They're actually going to have a track walk. I think they may have the one ride along, but I know as soon as they can have the track cleared, they're going to have a track walk. So the fans, for a few minutes, 15 minutes after the race, they're going to let the fans go out there and walk around the track, maybe have some of those body panels, parts that they're going to go walk and get signed out in the midway in the pit area. But after this race is done, after the awards presentation, I think they're going to give a ride around for, you know, that one gentleman we called out his name just a moment ago. But you, the fans, young and old, can go out there on the track once it's been cleared and just see what these guys are dealing with, see how ruddy, how bumpy, how loose, how much traction is out there, how little traction is out there. Get those body panels you may find still out on the track and get them personally signed by the drivers and their crew members, because I can promise you there will be body parts to be had in the Pro Final. There always are. Different sizes be it, but there will be body parts shed.
Oh, yeah, that door right there needs to be autographed and put on somebody's wall in the garage. I've got a couple of them myself, but this is going to be very, very cool. Real quick, I want to call out some friends of mine. I know Steve Shearing from the snowcross world is actually working in a shop right now on snowmobiles, as he was working on a snowmobile racetrack with snow. Where he found snow, I don't know, but he's watching us right now. So Steve Shearing, very cool that you're a part of the off-road world. Also, we're going to be in Bark River in about a month or so. So the Smith twins, they're working on a Pro Light, so we're going to have another Pro Light truck possibly on the racetrack. So the Smith boys are there. And you know what? We got to thank everyone that's tuned in. You know, thank you so much for being a part of this show, no matter where you are across this globe. The service people, whatever country you're in. I know I got a couple friends in the UK are watching in. Don't go anywhere. We've got a wild race coming up, and there's a great shot right there of Adrian Cheney. Believe it or not, born in South Africa, was raised there for a few years, moved to central Wisconsin, was raised there, went to high school, went to college there, now lives in Manhattan, and you would never guess he is the wild man of off-road racing. He is recognized. In fact, I can tell you right now, I'm not sure if you saw, you got to YouTube search this video. He did a complete corkscrew without a ramp.
Barrel roll?
Barrel roll, and flat landed it successfully. So you got to YouTube that and check it out.
Somebody switched his roof sticker from last night. He was the mild man last night, you said. And now they got the W back.
So in fact, he's got a brand new product coming out called the Wild Man Bite. So he's coming out with
product tester right here.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, beef jerky.
Well, race fans, here they come out on the racetrack as their warm-up lap, the first truck to come out. He's from El Cajon, California, right now living in Bondwell, Wisconsin, just outside of Green Bay. It's the number 7 Amsoil Borla Exhaust Ford of Scott Douglas.
In second, the number 10 out of Holland, Michigan, driving the Nitto Tires Toyota, sponsored by Nitto ATD Transmissions. That's Scott Rosso, excuse me, sorry.
The third truck on the track in that blaze orange Chevrolet. You know what, this is real interesting. He also has property on the Virgin Islands. So he calls himself his home now. St. John, Virgin Islands. He's not from Manhattan, but he's running on Maxxis tires, sponsored by Realtree Outdoor Energy Drink, 4-wheel parts, and the Wild Man Beef Bite Snacks from St. John, Virgin Islands, the Wild Man, Adrian Cheney.
Two guys next to each other know each other very well. Actually, starting 4th and 5th, two brothers. The 25 of Mark Jenkins out of Plano, Texas, both sponsored by Cooper Tires, Traxxas, Amsoil, Fox Shocks, and Impact Safety, driving those Fords.
Right next to him, like you said, his brother, number 47, was on the podium last night. In fact, both brothers were on the podium. Out of Plano, Texas, the president and CEO of Traxxas on Cooper Tires, sponsored by Traxxas. It's the 47 of Mike Jenkins.
And how about a starting 6th, driving the Toyota? We saw him last night take the win on the Maxxis Monster Toyota from Wisconsin, Johnny Greaves, number 22.
And rounding out the field, he comes from Columbus, Ohio. He's known as the bootlegger, the man behind the scenes of Popcorn Sutton's White Whiskey and Realtree Outdoor Energy Drink, the number 5 of Mark Kwame. One last time tonight, Charlotte, on your feet. Here comes 900 horsepower times 7.
Great jump by Scott Douglas. We'll see where he picks. He's going to take middle of the road, trying to show up that inside, trying to take it away from Adrian Cheney. Cheney, look at that drive.
I saw 3 wide right behind him as Mark Jenkins moved up in that 3rd spot, but Cheney's got that inside line. Douglas goes wide. Cheney just throws it sideways for a moment, side by side down the infield.
Boy, I was looking back at Johnny Greaves, and it looks like he was trying to just be patient back in 5th or 6th, let these first couple of laps sort themselves out. He does not look super aggressive, and I think that's by plan because the way he's driving right now.
Coming out onto the infield, here we go one more time. Johnny Greaves trying to work his way through the field, comes up to the backside of Mark Jenkins, still nothing there. Greaves, I'm not sure if he's struggling or just being very, very patient right now.
Patient. I saw it on that first lap. He was trying to separate. He said, I'll figure out how to pluck them apart. That race out in front, Adrian Chitty, over rotation for Scott Douglas. Almost opens the door for Adrian Chitty. The Wildman 6-0's in there, but can't get it done here. Now Chetty's set up on the outside. Behind him, a good battle for third. Look at that, Greaves on the outside trying to get around the 10 of Ross Hook.
Man, he's in a bad spot because he's trying to get around. Oh, and he's off the track. Greaves goes off the track. Meanwhile, Mark Jenkins goes inside of Ross Hook. He makes a pass. Here comes Mike Jenkins inside of Greaves. Greaves is getting pushed around. He's being almost too patient. Meanwhile, up front, here comes Adrian Chitty going after Scott Douglas.
They're side by side. Chitty on the inside. Look at this run he's got. He could take over. Oh, he's squirrely. Almost jumping off the entire left side of that last jump. Look at him. Powering through four wheels, grabbing for traction. Back in third. It looks like Mark Jenkins. Is that correct? I believe it looks like Mark Jenkins in third, who made 2 passes on that last lap. Mike Jenkins just behind him, and Ross Hook is not having the moto he's looking for.
Once again, our leaders come up onto that front stretch, and Adrian Cheney's trying every inside line. Now keep in mind, these are 900 horsepower race trucks. Cheney now goes way up against the wall. He'll diamond off the corner, squared off, gets shot out of a cannon down the backstretch, goes inside of Douglas. We may have something right here. Did they even touch? Talk about fender-to-fender racing. I don't think they touched through the corner, but here comes Cheney right back again.
Cheney now goes the inside, lifting that wheel off the ground and takes over the lead. Can he shut the door just a little bit? I really like Scott Douglas in that second turn, but Cheney was definitely fast in that right.
That was a clean pass if there ever was one.
Now watch, Adrian Cheney, the big sweeper's one thing, but watch the sharp left-hand turn. Every time Cheney pulls to the inside, Douglas gets a better drive around the outside of this right. Let's see if Douglas still takes that highlighter. It looks like he's set up for low.
Douglas enters the corner on the high side, exits down low.
Douglas is good in that turn. I mean, he made up some ground.
I would love to see that guy in a wing sprint car. The way he's able to back it into the corner is absolutely amazing. Here comes now Douglas back to the inside of that right-hand corner. They're side by side to the infield. Douglas pulls ahead just a tad, but here comes Cheney now to the inside.
And the race back in. Look at that. You see that wide shot. 1 and 2 going at it. 3 and 4 going at it. Looks like Greaves has worked his way into third. Again, the competition yellow going to be thrown in about, 4 more laps. Adrian Cheney on the outside, the bright orange truck, number 11, Scott Douglas on the inside. Now look at Douglas with the drive. What's he going to do here? He squares it up much earlier.
He actually turns right before he turns left to set that truck up, and he made up ground on Cheney. Now he's on the outside for the corner, but here he goes. Enters the corner to the inside. Cheney goes a little wide, opens the door. They touch just slightly. Now it's Douglas with the advantage, but here comes Cheney.
The mild man is no longer. It's the wild man, and another slide job. Cheney goes up on the back end of Douglas. He takes the lead on lap number 6. Scott Douglas, followed by Adrian Cheney. In third now, Johnny Greaves. Mark Jenkins in 4th. Mike Jenkins in 5th. Ross Hook in 6th. And Mark Kwame in 7th.
That was the perfect slide job by Douglas, that infield turn. Again, he backs into the corner. When he throws that truck so sideways, there's no place for any of the trucks to go because he's got the entire corner blocked. You can't go inside, you can't go outside. Now he's got about a 3-car advantage right now over Adrian Cheney through the infield, and here comes Johnny Greaves.
Don't you think Johnny's mission is to get in at least 2nd place? I don't think he was expecting these guys to be so tight with each other, though. If he's playing it safe, he doesn't want to see 2 trucks side by side.
Well, that's what he's got a eyeball full right now. Adrian Cheney, again, will now go to the inside, try to square off that corner. Meanwhile, Cheney's way up against the wall.
Watch Greaves. Watch this run he's going to have coming down this straightaway. Greaves going to close in, I promise you. He took the extreme outside and set up that turn. Douglas on the outside. Watch this.
Douglas backed into the corner like he was Steve Kinzer. Wow!
Mark, Steve, Eddie Kinzer. I mean, you got them all. And Cheney goes to the inside.
Payback. That was
pass.
perfect. That is totally illegal. That is off-road racing. That is touching. That is taking the hole. That is 3 feet wide and making it 8 feet wide to get around. Now here comes Greaves to the inside. Greaves took a peek inside of Douglas.
Watch him on the outside here. Watch him take the far outside. Look at him set up already. Watch this shot. The Monster Toyota, that's TRD power. Watch it down the back straightaway. He does it again. He's a half a truck length behind Scott Douglas for 2nd. Now he's trying to work on, again, the competition yellow is about to come out the next time around. He's got to get by if he's going to start second on the back half of this race.
Here's that tricky part of that track we've been hearing about, that right-hand corner. The ruts are there. It's Cheney, Douglas, Greaves, and Jenkins, 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Pretty much just like we saw in the main event last night, as the competition yellow does come out for Cheney, Douglas, Greaves, Mark Jenkins, followed by Mike Jenkins, Hook, and Kwame. It's going to be good. You see how fast those top 4 guys, and we're still going to throw in Mike Jenkins. You know, he gets to butt up right against those top 4 now.
I'll put money on the fact that he was being told by a spotter just to calm down a little bit, slow down a little bit. I mean, you're pretty far back in that.
Take it easy.
You know, what, 4th spot, 5th spot. You'll make it back up under the yellow. Let's turn it down to Kelly. She's got to report now what's going on trackside. Kelly?
Well, guys, this is some of the best battling I've ever seen side by side. These guys are swapping spots like I don't think I've ever seen before. We're trying to get through this mandatory caution. There goes Mark Kwame. But, guys, Mark Jenkins actually had the fastest practice time coming into today, but these guys on the track are going faster than I'm sure they've gone on this track before. But I was listening into a conversation between the drivers after practice, and Adrian Cheney had said something to Mike Jenkins along the lines of, you know, yesterday was pretty aggressive, but today, I know there's going to be a lot more contact out there on the track. We don't have to worry about fixing our trucks and getting back onto the racetrack for another day of racing. So Mike took that as a, uh-oh, Adrian Cheney has the nickname the Wild Man, and I think we're going to see it here tonight. So keep your eye on that bright orange truck. That's the guy that'll make the moves, and he'll pretty much do anything to get to the front of the pack. So we'll see this restart and how interesting it's going to be, guys.
Oh, thanks a lot, Kelly. Yeah, she nailed it. It's going to be very, very interesting, but what a blast to watch. Charlotte, are you guys having fun right now? You betcha, baby. We're going to go green. It looks like next time by.
9 more laps in this race. This tightened up the field. It's a competition yellow. That's what we do. You see the body panel about to fall off of Adrian Cheney's truck. You might be the first one to get that and get it signed after the race.
That is the longest I've seen the body panel stay on the truck. So that should be something right there. In fact, the buddy of mine I told you about, Steve Shearing from the Snowcross Series, he's having a good time right now. He had to message me one more time. He's enjoying the show, but this Pro 4 race right now, he's like way getting into it.
Will Adrian Cheney hold on for his 2nd victory of the season? He won the first race of the 2014 season. He finished 2nd the 2nd day in Prem, and he finished 4th last night. That dropped him in points. He was tied for 1st coming in here with Johnny Greaves. Johnny, I think he was playing it patient that first half. The first half of the first half, he's not going to play it patient out.
Look at Cheney right now. The pace truck's off the track. Cheney is going slow. Now look at that very first orange cone on the tire. At that point, he can accelerate anytime he wants, and he does right now. Early. Here we go, Charlotte!
No deep staging there, Adrian Cheney, but look on the inside. Here comes the 7 of Scott Douglas, and Johnny Greaves going to get a great run again on the outside. Don't count him out. Down that back straightaway.
Where does Adrian Cheney go? No place. He's stuck in the middle because Douglas takes the lead, but he'll go wide. Cheney comes right back. They're 4 wide through the infield.
Mark Jenkins, he's moving up to 3rd. It looks like, what's Johnny going to do here? He's stuck on the outside, and that might not be where you want to be in this race.
Oh, Cheney from 4th to 1st in one turn. And Johnny Greaves goes from the lead back to 4th, and now he's getting pressure from Mike Jenkins.
Mark had a little bump. He closed in a little bit on that double, made some contact. Back in 3rd is Johnny Greaves trying to get by. Back in 3rd again, goes to the inside. First time we've seen him low in a while.
Now Johnny Greaves once again was so much quicker on the outside line, but he wasn't bad right there. Stayed right with them, but it's all about this corner right here. And once again, look at Douglas back in that Amsoil entry.
Mark Jenkins not backing out on the inside, climbs over the back of Douglas for just a moment. Greaves still trying to get by the 7 on the outside. Scott Douglas, you like the way he backs it in. Oh, and running into the back of Jenkins is Greaves.
Cheney up against the wall, coming down the front stretch. Jenkins now outside of Greaves, going to turn 1. Johnny has got his hands full. This is far from a runaway. Here they go down the backstretch. Cheney on the outside. Here comes Scott Douglas on the inside.
Don't count out Mark Jenkins. He's found that outside cushion. Just said, oh, and now Greaves going to have an opportunity because Mark Jenkins ran it in on Chinny. Chinny goes from first to fourth and off the track in fifth, and he still hadn't let out of the throttle.
And here comes Mike Jenkins now back into fourth. Scott Douglas now up front. It's Mark Jenkins, Mike Jenkins, Johnny Greaves, and Cheney now in the top 5 as he's fallen back after going off the track.
Greaves got a face full. He was in second place in that right-hand turn. I mean, he got Roost City and could not see a thing. He went from second to fourth and a far drop back and forth. I like the 25. I think he's the fastest guy on the track, and he found that outside cushion, has a little bit more grip. Watch out for the 25 of Mark Jenkins.
Now keep your eye on the top 2 drivers. They've got a history at this track. They've got a history of getting in each other. Major contact, time after time, race after race. There's no love lost between those two guys. Scott Douglas races people clean, at least tries to. If he gets nailed, I trust you. That big guy will come back and nail you back. You race me exactly as I'll race you. If things start to get hairy, you watch out. So that's what's going to happen right now, between Scott Douglas and Mark Jenkins.
Last time around, Mark Jenkins about 3/10 of a second slower than Scott Douglas. Jenkins actually got in the...
Cheney, right front flat tire. Right front flat tire on Adrian Cheney. His night is done with only a few laps remaining.
Unless there's some kind of yellow coming out at this point, you know, he's not going to be able to pull in that hot pit and save his lap.
That is not the tire you want going down, that right front tire. Not at all. And you can see a little bit of smoke coming that sidewall. Right now, he's working that inner liner. But up front, man, Douglas up against the wall. Mark Jenkins up against the wall. And Johnny is having all kinds of problems trying to reel these guys in.
And he's losing body parts left and right on that Toyota. Still Scott Douglas out in front after 14 laps. This is an 18-lap final. And running it in there is Mark Jenkins. He's trying to use those high lines to find the grip, especially this last turn just a moment ago. He almost made contact with the wall. Our race for the win is almost a 3-truck battle now. It's starting to close in is brother Mike.
Of almost a replay of last night when you had both the Jenkins boys up on the podium as they're trying to battle right now our leader Scott Douglas and Amsoil Boreal exhaust number 7.
Good
Man,
run.
So impressive.
Good run by Mark that time. Watch this.
Last year or two, Mark Jenkins has really come into his own.
Watch Mark here. He's got a good run down that front straightaway. He closed in at least a truck length.
And here's where Douglas just throws that truck sideways to the corner. Jenkins basically drives into the corner more, almost just like in the parking lot, we'll say. But man, look at the run he's got now on Douglas. They make contact.
The attitude of that truck got upset. Now they're both in that ruddy section. Only probably one truck length separates our leader Scott Douglas and Mark Jenkins. Next time around will be the 16th lap. Look at that, looking for grip. Will he get that drive? Because Douglas is in that more of a blue groove area. Look at that run down the straightaway.
It looks like Jenkins will go to the outside, up against the wall. We might see it right here. Jenkins up against the wall, trying to find traction. Douglas will hang on to the gap as they go into that left-hand turn in the infield.
Boy, Douglas did a good job that time. I mean, he was finding grip where I didn't know there was any.
Jenkins made up a little bit of ground now, about 1 truck length separation into that right-hand corner. Huge ruts have formed right there. Jenkins tight to the inside.
Like that was a great line that Jenkins had. Take a look at this.
Here it
now
comes.
To the inside. That's where the contact was yesterday. Bump. Now trying to run. There's another bump. Look at this, coming down the front straight.
At the white flag, 1 lap remaining.
This is it, on your feet, ladies and gentlemen. Jenkins taking that high line. Mark Jenkins for the final time. Look at that drive down the back straightaway. Great job by Scott Douglas once again.
It looks like he may have even pulled away a little bit as they go in that tight left-hand 180. Again, the big push by Jenkins, having problems make the corner. Douglas pulls away just a little bit. Here comes Mike Jenkins now and his brother.
And here comes Greaves behind them. Those Jenkins are getting bump and run action going with
man.
They might let the Toyota sneak in there.
It's a 3-truck battle now for 2nd and 3rd. Douglas all by himself coming around the corner, taking the checkered flag in the win. Will be the Amsoil Boreal exhaust number 7 of Scott Douglas. 2nd will be Mark Jenkins. 3rd, Mike Jenkins and Johnny Greaves 4th. Coming around the corner also Ross Hook, Adrian Cheney, and Mark Kwame. But wow, those top 4 trucks absolutely put on one whale of a show. Charlotte, one question. If we come back in 2015, will you guys come back with your friends? Well, let everybody know. Get on the internet. Make emails to the racetrack. Put it on TORCseries.com. There's a blog right there. Let them know how much of a blast this was here tonight. Man, what a race this was. This was epic. I hate that word, but you know what? It's overused, but tonight's race was absolutely epic.
Scott Douglas, our third winner of the year. We'll hear from him right after this. Some winning donuts from the AMSOIL truck. Congratulations goes to Scott Douglas taking the Pro 4-wheel drive here at night number 2 in Charlotte.
Ready. Drive.
And 90 degrees up on 2 wheels.
Fly. Dominate. Celebrate. MagnaFlow.
What is Monster? It's killing tires on the ultimate Gymkhana course. I'm Ken Block, and I am Monster.
Wow, I'm still catching my breath. Welcome back once again to Charlotte Motor Speedway here at the dirt track, and it's the end now of round 4 of the 2014 season. And Robbie, you just witnessed probably one of the best Pro 4 races in a long, long time, and this is only your 4th race.
Yeah, every time I think that's the best one, the next one is a little bit better. It's actually kind of hard to live up to if at this pace, honestly. I mean, you think about it, our races this year, and you can watch tonight's race on May 1st on the NBC Sports Channel at 10 p.m. Eastern. Every one of our races this year, it seems like, has been just a little bit better. We haven't had a snoozer at all.
No, not at all. In fact, we're going to take a quick look at what we just witnessed. And, you know, I'm going to let you take this. This is going to be fun to listen. You call this one.
No, Scott Douglas, he had the pole position. Little did we know he would end in that position. But he had a lot of pressure from Adrian Cheney, a guy who said that he was not going to back down tonight. He said, I called him the mild man last night. He was going to bring the wild man back in it again tonight. He did so for the longest time.
Yeah, and again, Adrian Cheney just fought back and forth, and that's what he's known for. Scott Douglas, another guy not giving an inch, and he's a tale of two drivers, depending on what's going on the track. He'll race you exactly like you race him, and when things get kind of touchy, all of a sudden the big animal comes out, and he gets aggressive.
No touch there. Scott Douglas making a pass on the outside. Cheney goes to the inside. This is before the competition caution as well. Johnny Greaves had been a little tame and worked his way up into third. Trying to get in second, wasn't able to do it. Adrian Cheney was the leader at that competition, yellow, but Douglas gets by again. Cheney gets in there. That makes contact with Johnny Greaves, and the 25 of Mark Jenkins gets his nose in there as well. They were 4 wide at one point.
Now keep in mind, we talked about it earlier, where some of these trucks are a little bit heavier, got bigger displacement, 10 pounds per cubic inch. Johnny Greaves running a smaller truck in weight, and he's battling with these heavy trucks, so I think that may have done some damage to his truck, all this contact.
The small truck hip checked Adrian Cheney there for just a moment. Cheney goes off course and out of the picture, but look at the white flag. Less than half a truck length between Scott Douglas and the number 25 of Mark Jenkins. Johnny Greaves couldn't get up there into that battle, and Scott Douglas ran away with it on that last lap. What was a half truck lead turned into about a 3.5-4 second lead, and Scott Douglas takes his first victory of the year in the AMSOIL Borla Exhaust Toyo Tires Ford.
Yeah, Jeremy Meyer from AMSOIL was here last night, enjoyed the racing, but he should have been here tonight as he's in New York for Supercross. Let's now take it down to the podium, and we've got Kelly Snyder for the last interview of the weekend. Kelly?
Well, thanks, Scott and Robbie. It's been a blast, but let's talk to our third place finisher here in the Pro 4 class, Mike Jenkins. What a battle that was. When we saw you getting close to your brother on that last lap, we thought, uh-oh, the Jenkins brothers may just take themselves out, but what a great battle that was for you. Tell us a little bit about that race for you.
Thanks, Kelly. I tell you what, racing with your brothers is one of the most exciting things you can do. This for Pro 4, these things are animals, as you can see. Imagine what it's like bouncing over that, banging into each other. Somebody said before, Pro 4 racing, if it's done right, it's a constant state of crash, and that's all it is, controlled crash out there. John Markin, thanks again for the Fox shocks. The little gold valve helped me tune the thing in. We got a little faster today. I think we picked up almost a full second over yesterday's lap times. And, it's sponsors like that take care of us. Appreciate Traxxas. We appreciate Cooper. These tires are working really well for us. We're really pleased with the support these guys have got, and we got more tires coming. So really hats off to them all. Thank you.
And we saw your practice times with you and Mark today. 2 of the fastest practice times out there. I think 4 thousandths of a second off from him. What are you going to bring to Bark River? I know that's one of your favorite tracks.
Well, Mark came in telling me he was 38 thousandths of a second quicker in practice, and we went and looked at the data, and mine showed 1/10 quicker, so I don't know. He's standing 1 step above me tonight, so I think he must have been quicker. But I'm bringing my family. I got a good racer family. It's very supportive. I got a beautiful young fiance named Kelly Snyder, and look forward to having all of them with me to support me at Bark River.
Your brother's mocking you over there. It's okay, we'll move on over. Congratulations to Mike Jenkins on that 3rd place finish in that intense Pro 4 battle. And we're moving on up to the guy in 2nd place. What do you think about your brother? What do you think about racing with him?
I think he must have a string and it's built in his back, and either you or Scott were tugging on it. You just kept on talking. No, in all seriousness, I love racing with my brother, and in fact, every one of these guys in the TORC series, they're awesome competitors, and they're fast, and that's what you want to compete at, the highest level of competition. I got to thank Traxxas for putting together an A machine, the Jenkins Brothers racing crew, my family for their constant support, and the excellent engineering with Cooper tires. It's brand new tire under these vehicles this year. We brought the engineering experience from years past, and they've stepped up our program. So you've seen it this weekend, 2 podiums in a row with the Jenkins brothers. Who would have thunk it? So it's great to be here.
Well, I'll ask Scott the same question, but we've known of this battle between the two of you, a constant rivalry in this series. So you were putting the moves on Scott. Talk a little bit about trying to make those passes on him during this race.
I got moves like an old white man. You know, I can't shake and bake like I used to be able to, and I know Scott can't either. But, you know, I figure as long as we can bring the fight, then, you know, it's a good show for the fans. That's what keeps this series running, and thank you all the wonderful people here at Charlotte for coming out and supporting us.
Well, congratulations. Give it up for Mark Jenkins, second place here in the Pro 4 race. And I'll step up to the top of the box. Scott Douglas, congratulations on that well-deserved first place finish. I don't think I've ever seen Pro 4s 4 wide on a track that they normally say isn't very easy to pass on. So how are you able to hold off the rest of the pack?
Oh, it was awesome. You know, this AMSOIL Borla exhaust Toyo tire Walker Evans Racing wheel truck just worked so well. And the crew did such a good job prepping it. You know, and we went back and forth. Do we want to run it soft because soft has got a lot of traction, but it's not as good in the infield, or we want to run a little more harsh. And we basically took some big gambles, ran a little softer. I had to adjust my driving style, but then just on this oval and stuff, you just had to be smooth with those Toyo tires and manage them, but they were hooked up. I found a line on the bottom that I don't think anybody else found until maybe 3/4 of the way through the race, and that did it. But it was fantastic running, you know, with Adrian lap after lap. We must have changed positions no less than probably 10 times, so hats off to him. I don't know where he's at, but I can't thank my crew enough, and I can't thank AMSOIL for putting me in this spot. It's fantastic, you know, and we've, you know, Goodwin Racing Engines does a great job, J&H Transmissions, and once again, Walker Evans Racing, they're helping me a little bit more this year, and I really appreciate it because they were the ones in 1990 that gave me my started professionally. And once of all, I want to thank all you fans at Charlotte. Some of you guys left, but the ones you're here, I want you to bring 10 more people back. Did you guys like Pro 4? Yeah! Woo!
Well, guys, that's one of the best races I think you'll ever see in the Pro 4, but if you leave it up to these guys, they will always want to give you a bigger and a better show. So make sure to come back and tell all your friends. Let's give it up one more time for our Pro 4 podium, Mike Jenkins, Mark Jenkins, and Scott Douglas. Guys.
So a lot of smiles on the faces of the guys in Pro 4. What a race they put on, and we're not done here. We're done as far as the racing is concerned. We're going to step aside here in just a moment and take a look at all the racing tonight. But we're reminding the fans that obviously they know because they stuck around. We're going to have a track walk for you, the fans, get to see what this track is, get to take, you know, put your shoes in the dirt and see what they had to deal with here tonight and get those body panels signed out in the midway, in the pits. These drivers are going back out there. They'll be more than happy to sign anything you have.
Oh, I guarantee the fact that they will be amazed when they start walking this track. They see these ruts, they see the size of these jumps. They will be amazed, and all of a sudden a newfound respect being on the track and seeing a ground level from what they were seeing up in the grandstand. So once again, we'll be doing that on the track in just a moment. We'll be doing a complete weekend recap right after this. So hang on, more to come.
Emergency safety crews depend on their gas-powered equipment to start when they need it. That's why they use VP small engine fuels, formulated with no ethanol to prevent fuel system damage and ensure easier starts. Designed for both 2- and 4-cycle engines. Try VP small engine fuels for your gas-powered tools so they'll start when you need them. Order online at homedepot.com or visit your local dealer.
Well, once again, welcome back, everybody, to the conclusion of round 3 and 4 this weekend of the Husqvarna Showdown at the dirt track here in Charlotte. we've got almost a full month off before we go to Bark River, but yet before we go there, we've got something to recap, and we've got to take another look at what took place this weekend here.
Yeah, to kind of take business to tonight, and it started off in a big way for the youngest of our competitors, 16 years old. Jarrett Brooks started on that third row. It was CJ Greaves, the 33, that was out in front. Started on the second row, was out in front for a while. He looked strong. He was fast.
Yeah, and just the average age of those top 5, 6, 7 trucks is absolutely amazing. This is the future of off-road racing, and I think you'd have to say the future is now. Right now we look at the competition yellow, regroup the entire field again. CJ Greaves up front, battling with Jarrett Brooks and Doug Matag. And look at the rest of the field right there. Keegan Kincaid to lead there just for a moment.
Yeah, that was in the 7. The 81 was last night's winner. There's CJ Greaves on the inside trying to make it 3 wide. He gets the bad end of that deal, kind of climbs up, drops him back a little bit. There's Matag and Kincaid going at it. Kincaid kind of looked like a kite for just a moment.
And this is where it gets real ugly. It looks like Travis Dinsmore got in the back, and I've never ever seen Kincaid quite this upset. As you can see, 3 other guys that he knows very well holding him down.
But after the restart, you see the 77. He'd worked his way up. He was back at around 8th or 9th, worked his way up to the lead and was able to check out on those final few laps. Taking the victory was Jarrett Brooks. Second going to Doug Matag following that victory from last night. So the 16-year-old and the 20-year-old on the top 2 spots of the podium, and rounded out another young gun, CJ Greaves, in 3rd.
Yeah, I'm going to ask him if he doesn't mind the name Paperboy, but here we go. Take a look at now Pro 2 as they cross the line. Steve Barlow looked very strong early on in that brand new sponsored CAT entry. It was great to see him back on the track, but there's that parking lot we talked about. Jarrett Brooks at the very dead last in the field.
Yeah, Johnson having some problems. Greaves not having much problem in this one. There's the 2, Barlow on the outside, but here comes the 9, Chad Horde. He's been fast all year. He's your series points leader. He worked his way eventually into 2nd. Again, same position he was in last night. Green flag after that competition yellow. Horde was there in that top 3, but just like last night, just really put the pressure on, but couldn't get by. Doing a little pirouette move, one of his best ballet moves of the night. Ari Leindyke Jr. last night's 3rd place finisher.
That one.
He might have. Nice move, but this is about as close as it gets. Chad Horde made a bobble there, caught the tire, and that really seemed to drop back from that point on.
And somehow we got to find that formula of what makes this kid right here so good. The truck, the crew, him as a driver, his talent, comes around, takes another win. Talk about a team that is so strong, both between him and his dad.
In 4 mains this year, he has won 3 of them in Pro 2. 2nd goes to Chad Horde, 3rd to Jeff Kincaid.
There's Spicoli. Yeah, he calls me a Platinum Elvis. He's going to be Spicoli. Look at that blonde hair just jutting out. Again, if you double the age of CJ Greaves, it does not equal that of Jeff Kincaid.
I don't know why you got to ruin Jeff Kincaid like that. Pro 4, the premier class. There's Adrian Chinney, the guy who's up there near the points lead in Pro 4. But the 7 of Scott Douglas had the whole shot, and he wasn't looking back tonight.
There was something about the rhythm. He found the rhythm that nobody else could quite do so. And he kept coming back. He'd get past, and he would pass him back, and he'd get passed again. It was a great battle going back and forth.
Adrian.
And you heard him talk in the interview. He actually said that he was constantly searching for that traction.
And he found a low line. He talked about that as well. And you saw him take it about 3/4 into that race. Johnny Greaves worked his way into 3rd. Looked like he was taking it easy early on. He got into 3rd, wanted 2nd, but then things started getting interesting. They started banging, banging trucks, banging fenders. The competition yellow comes out. We tightened up the whole field. We said anybody in that top 5 could still win it. Look at this, 3 wide, make it 4 wide here in Pro 4.
Yeah, that was probably going to be one very cool picture. Hopefully a photographer caught that, because 4 wide in a tight corner like that. And again, Cheney had the lead, had issues, but here comes Douglas now on the inside.
That's where he found it, that inside line right there. That's the little place he said, I'm surprised nobody else took it. He found that inside line. That really helped propel him the rest of the race.
And here comes the rivalry we've been seeing now for about 2 straight years between Mark Jenkins and Scott Douglas. White flag comes out, and the battle continues.
They were only half a truck length separating those 2 guys, but you can see the whooping that Douglas put on that last lap. Look at him, still banging till the very end. Scott Douglas takes his first victory of the year in Pro 4. 2nd goes to Mark Jenkins, his brother Mike Jenkins in the 47, rounding out our podium. There's the winner right there, Scott Douglas out out of El Cajon, California. AMSOIL doing it right, and the GoPro camera caught it. That's going to be some great footage. We got to get that for our next stop at Bark River.
Yeah, without a doubt. In fact, I think we got to check the archives, but I think this is the first time in TORC history that the Jenkins boys podium both days, both the dies together podium on 2 consecutive rounds. So
I've got the book in front of me. I'd flip through it, but I wouldn't look so good on camera.
That's pretty cool when you and your brother can get on the podium 2 days in a row together.
Yeah, no, it's a family affair. He said that, and even though he was throwing his love towards Kelly while he was up there on the podium as well, our field reporter. But no disappointments here tonight at all.
Oh, to be honest with you, I thought that coming into the weekend, I thought the track was kind of on the mild side. I was hoping to see some kickers. There's some autograph material. Holy smokes, some fans going to go home with a fender right there and a hood. But, you know, it turned out that this track was perfect, absolutely perfect for the action that we saw.
Have they fired up the ride and drive? I think they may do, you know, a 1 lap for the guy in the ride and drive before, but they have to make sure that the track is clear. It looks like the track is heading that direction, and then they're going to let all the fans out there on the track to see what it was like for these guys. You'll feel the tacky level or the tack level or not. And the ruts, like you said, it's one thing to just make your way slowly through them, but I mean, you have 900 horsepower trying to turn those rear wheels and front wheels, for that fact, in those deep ruts, and that could cause damage to the wheels and tires if they hit them the wrong way.
Yeah, it looks like we got the flashing lights on the pace truck coming out right now, the 2-seater. All we ask that the people, when they go out onto the racetrack, don't take any of the banners, don't take any of the signage. Please remain that, because that's pretty expensive stuff. But we invite you, if there's fenders laying there, chunks of fiberglass, you're more than welcome to take any of that. Head down to the pits, get it signed. But here's our winner now, our last winner of the weekend of the ride with. I wonder who the driver is. That's always fun to find out who it is. But I'm not sure if I want to be riding on the racetrack right now in the condition that it is after a Pro 4 race.
Oh, I do. I had a good time. I got to do it earlier. Yeah, this is the short course track.
This is the Bristol of off-road.
We got to see that in Prim, but from here it starts spreading out. It doesn't get any tighter than what we'll see here tonight. I want to again emphasize for those of you who can hear us: do not take the banners or the signage. If you see a part laying around or a piece of fiberglass, something, please be more than welcome to take that and get the driver signed it. But do not take any of the banners or signage. We have people out there making sure you don't, but we just ask you please to respect the series in that way.
So once again, this is like the Bristol of off-road.
Right.
We're on our way to the Talladega of off-road. Our next stop, once again, is going to be June 14th and 15th in Bark River, Michigan. Up in the UP, don't you know? Not far away from the hometown of Escanaba, Michigan, of our Kevin,
it's great fishing fame up in Escanaba.
Oh, yeah, some of the best walleye fishing in the world is right there in Escanaba, but some of the best off-road racing as well. And it's kind of cool about Bark River, if you're an off-road race fan in California or Washington State or Nebraska, if you follow short course off-road racing, Bark River and Crandon are on that bucket list.
And in all those names you mentioned, they are a long way from Bark River. So these guys are going to have to hump it no matter where they live. It's way on up there, and it's going to be another exciting race without question. You mentioned that is a Talladega. We'll also go to maybe the Indy 500 of short track off-road racing, and that would be where in Crandon. We go there twice this year. And what would we give? I don't know. I'd have to put Sturgis as a Talladega because they got the wild wingnut. What do they do that on Halloween or whatever in the infield? That Sturgis is without question the Talladega.
No, Talladega infield.
Yes, exactly. But hey, Scott, it was a great race tonight. I believe the pace truck will be pulling off here shortly. Congratulations to the guy that won that ride around. A great way to cap it off with a Pro 4 here tonight.
You know what, Robbie, I got to welcome you back to the off-road family, and it's such a great having you here as part of the TORC series, and you're doing a great job. I love working with you, and I can't wait to finish out the season. This is going to be a blast. Once again, our next stop will be in Bark River, Michigan on June 14th and 15th. Go to TORCseries.com. Keep up to date. Go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/TORC, and hashtag pictures and comments and every. You know what? I'm not a big social media guy outside of Facebook, but don't forget about Twitter and Instagram. So, you know what? You want to keep up to date with what's going on in the TORC series? Hit all those different websites. And once again, thank you for being a part of the action. Charlotte, we had a great time. We hope to see you again here next year. Tell your family, tell your friends, everybody across the World Wide Web. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back again. Don't forget, June 14th and 15th from Bark River, Michigan. Have a great time tonight, later on, everybody. And again, we'll see you in about a month from now. Good night, everybody.